All right. You turn it off or I'm turning off it?
I'm doing this.
Huh?
I did.
Hey y'all. Can you hear me, baby? I've been. Hey y'all. Hey Leilani. Hey Stacy. It's Wednesday, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. Sounds like Pac-Man. All right, cause my thing wasn't moving. Just to let y'all know y'all heard me. So hello. It is Wednesday. Happy hump day, y'all. To everybody whose day is humping. And to those who's not, happy Wednesday. It is 7 o'clock on the drop top, and I'm not in the streets though, so I'm on YouTube. And we're getting ready to talk about some stuff. At some point, my counterpart will put the link if y'all want to get up on the panel and talk with me about it. Um, so let's get started. So as y'all know, when we talk about a specific subject, the subject is colorism. Is colorism still alive and well today? And yes, it is. Colorism has always been a thing. As soon as people started differentiating between the colors of people within a specific ethnic group, there's been colorism. So what I'm going to do is I like to start out first with the definition of a word. So when we get into talking about it and its implications and the impact it has on our society, so we can understand where we're coming from. So where's my trusty dusty iPad? Hold on. So the definition, the Oxford Dictionary definition of colorism is prejudice or discrimination against individuals with a dark skin tone, typically among people of the same ethnic or racial group. An example, colorism within the Black community has been a serious emotional and psychological battle. In layman's terms, colorism, I can put it to you like this. Back in the day when we used to have videos, we used to have video vixens and video girls. The perfect video girl was my color. Now you wonder how can you talk about it if you are not subject to colorism? And I'm not. But I see how it affects people because my grandmother was a dark-skinned Black woman. And I grew up in a community and in a time when being dark-skinned was not acceptable, was frowned upon, was looked down upon. And the one person I love most in the world was a dark-skinned Black woman. So no, I did not experience colorism. If anything, I benefited from the fact that I have a lighter skin tone within the Black community. Now, is that fair? Absolutely, positively not. I don't think anybody should benefit from superficial things that really add nothing to the character of the person. Your color adds nothing to your character. Whether you're light or dark or somewhere in between, it adds nothing to who the person that you are. And if you make your entire character and personality about the lightness and brightness of your skin, then you need to do some soul searching that I can't help you with. Growing up, I wanted to look like my grandmother. Growing up, I wanted to look like Cicely Tyson because she looked like my grandmother to me. Growing up, I wanted to resemble this woman that I loved more than anything else. Growing up, I dated darker skinned people, well, men, because at the time I was only dating men. I didn't date anybody light as me. Maybe that was a form of colorism. I don't know. And let me give y'all something. This has nothing to do. Well, it sort of has to do. There's no such thing as reverse. There's no such thing as reverse colorism. There's no such thing as reverse racism. There's no such thing as reversing the isms. The isms are what the isms are. So I felt no ill effects from being light skinned. And I'm sure that would benefit somebody else who cherished their light skin. I, on the other hand, like I said, wanted to wake up to be as dark as possible. So I don't know whether that just came from how I was raised, who I was raised with, and my thought process. Because the color of your skin, it doesn't affect who you are as far as that goes. Now, that being said, within a community, within a particular ethnicity or racial group, there are differences, and people do, it happens. I mean, I've seen it happen. I've seen girls get dates because they were light skinned, not because they were cute, not because they were funny, not because they had great conversation, but because somebody thought they were cute because they were light skinned. What up, red bone? What up, yellow? You know how many times I heard somebody tell me, "You the first white girl I ever dated"? I said, "Well, you still you need to be looking for one." I'll tell you in a minute, don't let the light skin fool you. I don't think my skin color has anything to do with the person I am. Does it have to do with how people perceive me? It does. And in reality, perception is reality. How you perceive someone or something is your reality. If you assume that because I look the way I do, I'm gonna act a certain way until I prove different, if I can prove it to you at all, that is gonna be your reality of me. Now, is that the real me? No, but that's how you perceive me. And some people roll with that. Some people make the color of their skin their entire personality. Hold on, let me look at the chat. Hey, Elderable. Hey, y'all. Um, it is a it's a subject that has been talked about forever. During my grandparents and my parents' time, it was a paper bag test, and this was a test amongst Black people. If you were darker than a paper bag, you didn't make it into some places. This was among black people. Because the reality is, back in the day, if you had one drop of black blood in you, you were black regardless of the lightness of your skin. But amongst black people, the skin color did matter. That came a lot of times, that came from slavery, because the mixed race children and the lighter people, women, were treated differently. The biracial children of the rape that came from slave owners and the slaves were oftentimes killed because of what they look like, because of the color of their skin. Because the black slave has this little white baby and the slave owner's wife will kill it. They had to actually make a law stopping slave owners' wives from killing the kids that the slaves would have, because they were doing it so often. They actually had to make a law to stop them from doing it. As time went on, it changed. But the light dark within the community, it still stuck. Higher learning. What was the movie with oh, the college movie with Spike Lee? Somebody help me. Leilani?
Yeah.
What was the movie? School Days.
Thank you, baby.
I was about to say it. I'm not gonna say it now. Thank you, baby. Anyway. No, well, okay. But there was a whole thing within School Days, the light skins versus the dark skins. There's a whole it's the light skinned friend and the dark skinned friend. It's the oh, she's pretty because because the color of her skin or things like that. Or you'll look at a dark skin and go, oh, she's pretty for a dark skinned girl. Nobody ever says, oh, she's pretty for a light skinned girl. They say she's pretty. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. Now I want y'all to think, and I want y'all to really think with me. When they start talking about black women in Hollywood, the beauty aspect of black women in Hollywood, and they start talking about the older actresses, black actresses in Hollywood, about their enduring beauty, you'll find that if they don't go in the order of age, the darker skinned actresses always kind of end up at the end or not in the conversation at all. I'm trying to figure out, there should never be a conversation about Halle Berry that Angela Bassett is not in. There should never be a conversation about that. The new set of female rappers coming out. The Lottos versus the Glorillas. They react to these little girls differently. Even though they're saying the same nasty shit. We go through it constantly. The same thing that they say about fat girls, they say about dark-skinned girls. She's pretty for a dark-skinned girl. She's pretty even though her skin is so dark. Do you know how beautiful dark-skinned women and men are? Have you ever seen a dark-skinned person glisten in the sunlight, the light reflecting off their skin? I'm over there running from the sun. I don't really run from the sun. I tan nicely, but I'm just saying. I'm going to get red first. And then I'm going to have a nice tan. I glisten when I put some sparkles on. But have you understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to say something. And no one has to agree with me because this is a 100% personal opinion. And I'm speaking for a reason. And it kind of makes my butt itch, which is why I'm saying it. Let's start by this. I have always loved the brat. It's she from the 6060644. I don't even know if that's the thing, but it sounded like what it was. Okay. And down with the brat from when I always thought she was beautiful. She was fine. She messed around and go from a baseball cap to a bikini. I'm like, hey. She was one of the first ones having me questioning myself, going, hello. I ain't gonna tell you no that. Love the brat. As far as music wise, she the brat, and I like it. Hey, Krista.
How's my phone doing?
You good, baby. No sparkles. Oh, I did not say sparkles. No crackles.
I've been doing what you told me to do.
Oh, yeah, turn the other stuff off.
I cleared out all that stuff.
Yeah, that'll work. See, your phone working better.
It's working better. You sure it ain't no crickle crunchers? No popcorn popping?
You popping, you good. Ain't no Rice Krispie treats.
Hi, Leilani.
No there.
Now, nobody has to agree with me on this. I do not like her wife. I don't know why. I don't like Judy.
Who?
Never have. On the Brad and Judy.
Who?
Do you know the show? I don't know if you don't watch the show, you may not know who it is. But you know the I think
Watch.
I think she's a hairdresser or was a stylist of some sort.
Yeah, she's
She,
a hairdresser.
she was a hairdresser and she made and I get her oil, but I don't it's something about her I don't like. I've never have liked her. When the first time baby started watching, you know the Brad and Judy?
Yeah, that's what I'm
It's
saying.
on TV.
I love
I
her
don't like
wife.
her. I don't
Oh,
like her. No, you ain't gotta. I mean, it's not like hey, have you ever just not like somebody? I don't really need a reason. Let me tell you
yeah.
about it. I don't really need a reason. It's just how the first time that I hear you talking or you saying something, and
Mhm.
it sends me in the wrong. It makes my ass go. Wait a minute, it's almost itching. But then you keep talking and it gets more itchy until I need some Benadryl. I don't like her wife. It's something about her. When I hear them interacting, it's
Mhm.
almost like, it's like I feel, this is a show about two people in love, right?
Right.
I feel the brat's love. I'm going to leave it there. I don't, I, it, and again, let me explain. I bought her little hair grease, her little hair drops or whatever. So I'm not taking no money out of her pocket. And me not liking her is irrelevant. Everybody ain't gonna like everybody.
But you know what, Lisa? It's so nope, because I'm coming over here to change this. It's the same thing. I experienced that on this week
What, everybody not liking everybody?
with with because you know
Hello?
me and T, you know,
Yeah,
we date there,
right.
and I experienced that on this week, and I had told TC about this person when I had
Uh-huh.
went over to support her on this person's panel, and I told her, I said that person did not like me. They don't like me. I told her that right away,
Okay.
and she was like, baby, why you feel that way? I'm like, baby, I know. I was like, I just know. So on this week, without saying too much, TC had went up on the person's panel and had mentioned about me and her being together, and the response was something else. Um, you
Was
know,
he okay, here's my question. Was the response disrespectful?
to me, it was yes.
Okay. All right. So here's my thing. Just
Mm-hmm.
ignore them. Because unless
Nope.
they feed you, fucking you, or financing you,
Mm-hmm.
that's why me saying I don't like Judy
Mm-hmm.
does not take 1 ounce of bread out of her mouth or her wallet or her house. I have not changed her light bill in any way. I have not affected her bank account in any way. I just
Mm-hmm.
don't. I wasn't gonna watch a show even if, with the brat on there. I don't watch reality shows, so that didn't affect it. Any. Me looking at her again was not. It's just how I feel. And now I may be the only person in the whole wide world who feels that way. Everybody else who comes across them may be like, "Oh, I like you did." And I'm not discrediting your feelings or anything. And mine, because you can't just don't let nobody bother you if they don't like you. Because the reasons that people don't like other people very rarely have to do with the person they don't like.
Yeah.
You know that, right? The reason that somebody don't like you, the reason I don't like Judy ain't got shit to do with Judy. That's 100% me.
Mm-hmm.
She was being herself. Now maybe we are just not two people who would click. Because think about it. How many people have you been around that you actually clicked with?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So we just may not have been people who in reality would click.
Okay.
So this person may not just been somebody that you clicked with, but her not liking you has nothing to do with you. It's a 100% on her. Because
Mm-hmm.
when I don't like, I'm the only reason I'm saying this because I'm about to say something else because colorism plays into their relationship.
Okay.
That's the only reason I brought up them two.
Right.
So that's the
Mm-hmm.
only reason I brought them to. It had nothing to do with them. I wish her and the brat much love. I want them to stay together forever. I don't want either one to cry. I don't want anyone to spend one moment sad. And I want them to get another $1 million in their bank account. And
Mm-hmm.
I am 100, and I firmly mean what I just said. I will clap at every success they have. I just personally, if we were ever in the same situation, and my baby was
Mm-hmm.
over there talking to them, I would be over on here playing on my phone. I
Yeah.
would say, "Hey, how you doing?" You go
Yeah.
over there and play on my phone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now that might change. The reality is when you get in front of somebody physically, and then
Yeah.
you can feel their actual vibe, and you
Mm-hmm.
can feel who that person is, that shit
Mm-hmm.
might change. Because how she acts on television may
Mm-hmm.
not be how she acts in reality.
Right. Right.
How we act on YouTube is 99% reality, but there is a bit of theater that we do so people will talk and listen to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what y'all click on, what y'all don't click on YouTube may not be reality. It may just be YouTube.
Right.
So when you're looking at it in that particular perspective, that's why I say don't let stuff like that bother you. Because
Mm-hmm.
the reality is that she doesn't affect you in any way whatsoever. And her
Yeah.
dislike for you only bothers her. Don't bother you because it's nothing that you did.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
let her work that shit out in therapy. But I, but I brought up the Brad and Judy because the Brad and Judy just had a baby. Cute little
Yes.
bundle of squish, but his daddy is white. And here's why. As a biracial child, that is what
Mm-hmm.
I am. My father is white and my mama is black, just like this little baby here. And I
Mm-hmm.
have two all black siblings who
Okay.
treated me exponentially different. My mama treated me different.
Okay.
When I'm like, is nobody, now go with me. You are celebrities, both of y'all, worldwide celebrities. At least the Brad is, and the Judy is because of the Brad.
Right.
There's not one black man in the entire world that y'all could have got to be that baby daddy.
Mm.
I say that because you're not gonna look like your siblings.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I say that because I feel like even though he's a baby, and I think all the other kids are like teenagers at least. I think all the
And I
Judy kids are bigger.
and I think one is grown because she's the
Yeah, one
dark.
is grown. She's and there's and that's nothing where it comes into play in this particular family dynamic. Her children
All
are
grown.
they all grown, but they
Yeah,
distinguish
they're
little dark.
all 18.
Oh, okay, but they distinguish now. Think about it. They distinguish the little dark skinned girl, the oldest girl, from the other kids.
Yeah.
Here's within a family. When I was born, I'm the oldest grandchild. and the oldest great grandchild in my family. My mother had the first grandchild and the first great grandchild of all her five sisters and one brother. My grandmother had the oldest grandchild. That's me. And the oldest great grandchild. That's me. I'm also the oldest biracial child because after me, my cousins was popping them out, baby. It's a whole, it is a whole group of children that look just like me. It's a whole group of little girls that look just like me.
Okay.
All of them. It's a whole group of little girls that look just like me. Now within my family, because it is so diverse, you can go to a family reunion and see somebody look like me, somebody look like you, somebody look like Leilani. Shit, somebody look like the Chinese man that was selling you from the carry out the other day. But a lot of families are not like that.
Right.
Because the other side of my family, it's not a whole lot of it going on. The other side of my family, was not. My grandfather's side of my family, we came from a family of a lot of mixed race. My grandma, oh shoot, my great grandmother was biracial. My grandfather was a lot of racial because his mom. There was a lot going on, but that was back in the day. And you know what? I feel that's how old I am.
Mm-hmm.
That I can actually remember a relative that was a slave that was alive.
Oh.
Telling stories about the slave masters who used to come out there and have kids.
Mm.
And then after slave time, they would come out to the sharecroppers' houses and in the sharecropper houses. And you ever wonder why there are so many kids? There are so many grandparents that look like me. You don't understand where that came from. That came from masters slicking down to the slave quarters.
Yeah.
That came from Herbert going down there to the sharecropper town. Lying about what he doing, then the baby come out looking like me.
Yeah.
And then that's where colorism came from. Because it didn't matter to white people how light you are. Doesn't matter to them.
Mm-hmm.
You are a black man. You're a black woman. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
black woman with very light skin and green eyes. I'm not a white woman to them. But in the black community, they made it so we argued amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
We differentiated amongst ourselves. And the reality is we gave that to our kids. My mama used to tell me all the time, I made you look the way you look. I wanted you to be light skinned and I hope you had colored eyes. She's spoken these words to me.
Okay.
Because of how I wanted you to marry. I wanted you to marry a doctor, a lawyer. I'm like, what they got to do with me going to school and being grown? And as I got older, I did the exact opposite, actually. You got a job? Yes. I don't want to talk to you. Are you working in your mama house? Ding, ding, ding. You're the winner. I ran away from how I looked because I didn't want people to. I didn't want to be somebody's girlfriend because I was, and I still ended up being that way.
Mm.
I still ended up being. Oh boy, got him a white girl. What the fuck you say?
Yeah.
And it keeps going, and it's a different. Every generation is just spoken differently.
Mm-hmm.
The late 80s and the early 90s, it was the video vixens,
Yeah.
the drug dealer girlfriends. They're all light skinned and you know what I'm saying? Curly long hair.
Mm-hmm. Good hair.
Good hair. Ooh, say it again. That good hair.
Good hair. Yeah.
And it was like when you see that and you go, You try not to benefit from it if you that kind of person. But if you're not that kind of person, you get the mean girls and you get the cliques and you get the like School Day said, the good hair and the what was it, bad hair? What was it? Hold on, I'm about to look it up. And this thing goes on, and that's the 80s and the 90s, and now you get into the 2000s. And it's still the video girls, and they still looked, but you still got the light skinned girls because now football players and basketball players and the internet has made regular people celebrities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Has made basketball players not just athletes, but superstars.
Yeah.
So like Kanye said, he left your ass for a white girl. You got a whole generation, like I said, the babies, little girls that look like me. And parents telling them how good they are because they're lighter than this girl or lighter than this person.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to like you because you look this way. Make sure you do your hair that way. Put this on. Don't gain too much weight. Make sure you wear this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just talking about that in somebody's live earlier. The person was saying that a friend of theirs had gotten with a guy who who had convinced her that she was too fat, and I think they said she was only like a size, uh, I don't know, 10 or something. And when they seen that person a few years later, that person had lost even more weight, and the reason they had lost the weight was because the person they were with had convinced them that they were fat. And so they were talking about how you know guys will call you fat, or um what other name they were saying, all the negative stuff that people say is supposed to be negative. And I
Hmm.
told myself, you know what, but if you were somebody that says all that stuff to you, I would just simply tell them, yep, and that's what makes me unique, that's what makes me me.
See, that's
And
easy for us to say as adults. But think about how you used to feel when you were young. What happens is that we can't think about it when you were young and there was
Mhm.
this guy you liked and you would do just about anything. He wanted girls to dress this way. So this is how you started dressing because you saw that's how the girls he liked. You saw he didn't like a lot of makeup. So you stopped wearing the makeup like you like to wear. He liked a lot of hair. So you went and bought some weed. we
I
as women we as women have been taught to mold ourselves to be what others want us to be successful. You got to understand, we're also coming from the generations to where if you did not have a man, you were not a person. If you were not a wife and a mother, you were not a whole person.
Mhm.
So you have to make yourself look presentable and you have to adapt to what they want. If not,
that's where I think our parents play such a big part in our lives, because all my life I've always been a big girl, all my
right.
life, from birth, just too big at birth and just went on. Okay. And but my mother she wasn't a large woman, but she wasn't you wouldn't look at her and say she was skinny, but you wouldn't look at her and say she was fat either.
She just
But she was always bigger than her sisters.
mhm.
So they would go out and different things like that. And my mother was very pretty. She was very pretty. So my mother said that they would talk about how she would wear her makeup, because she always liked her makeup real heavy, like real thick
Your
around
mom
her eyes, different things.
your
She said,
mom
and
did?
it, huh?
Your mom liked her makeup like that?
Yeah, my mom.
Okay, okay. I was just making sure.
Okay. And she said, like, when she would dress up, because she was heavier than her sisters, because they were all very slim, she said she would wear her clothes to fit her. And she would say, you couldn't tell her nothing, you know.
Right.
So as I was growing up, my father, he had he told me one day, he was like, listen, when you grow up, it is what it is. You're gonna be a big girl. He said, but I'm gonna tell you a couple of things. And one of them is don't none but a dog like a bone. And he take and bury it. Don't you let nobody tell you that you're less than, or they don't want to be with you because of your weight or how you are. You be who you are. You know, he would constantly tell me things like that. I would hear these things. And then I had my mother also who would let us know about, how to dress, how to carry yourself. If you are going to be a big girl, this is how you dress, this is how you can carry yourself. Make sure you clean because there's stereotypes out there, different things like that. So when I did grow up and get out there, I didn't really carry those things that I heard other girls carrying, which I would look at them and say they were beautiful, just the way they are. But I would hear them saying, "Oh, he don't like this or he don't like that," and I'd be like, "Damn, really? And you trying to change for him, girl? Please, And then they'll be looking at me like, "Oh, you all right the way you are? Hell yeah, I'm all right the way I am." You know, and and I just grew up like that. And I grew up with that type of thing, like even now, you can't tell me shit.
I'm
That's
glad. I'm glad. I'm glad you did because there are. Yeah, they did. I'm looking at chat. I'm trying to say hello to everybody. Hey Kim.
hey,
Hey Jay Dunn. Hey TC. Hey
hey,
y'all. All right.
oh my baby here.
I had to
Hey
see.
baby.
I had to look and see. And because
Oh,
Elder Boo said they actually use the kids to be their slaves. The boys, when they grow up, man, did they give them, and the females they use them. Yeah, that's true. Um,
yeah. Oh my baby.
I'm
Hi baby.
I'm
Yeah.
glad that you had that because reality is most girls their first bully is their mom,
Mm.
and the sad truth about it is that a lot of parents try to live their past, and I'm gonna say failed past, try to live
Mm.
their failed past through their children's future.
Mm.
So what they didn't do, their kids have to do. That's why you find a lot of young men who are don't want to be in football players, don't want to be basketball players, doing it because of their parents. And they might be great, but that just ain't their passion, ain't their thing.
Me and my mother had that problem with one thing. My mother did not want me to be a nurse when I grew up.
Why not?
She wanted me to be a secretary because she always wanted to be one. And as
Wait,
far as being a secretary was a church secretary. But
what?
she did not want me to be a nurse. She was like, no, no, they're gonna tear your body up, but she was right. And then they're gonna be ready to get rid of you. Okay. She was right. But that was the only thing that me and my mother had it out. Mm-mm, she didn't care
And,
if I worked at a bicycle shop. She just wanted me to be a secretary. That was it. Because she always wanted to be one. And she
I
couldn't
mean,
type.
and I'm gonna take that's funny because you couldn't type, but that's funny, but that's not bad. That's
Mm-hmm.
not bad. Well, I'm talking about little girls that are forced to relive their mother's uh, uh, pageant dreams, their mother's high school dreams, prom dreams,
Yeah.
homecoming dreams, collegiate dreams, cheerleading dreams, majorette dreams, band dreams, without
Yeah.
taking into consideration that their children got a couple dreams of their own.
Yeah.
And pretty girls, you find sometimes their mom is the first person that tells them they're ugly.
Mm.
Fat girls, sometimes you find the first person that tells them they fat and let them know they fat is their mama. It's not somebody outside. The reality is when you're young, some random ass person calling you fat or ugly don't mean shit.
And there's so many other things that people are besides fat or ugly.
But
There
not to,
is
not to children, not to young people, not to young people. The reality is young people ain't got shit else but superficial stuff. The young don't have anything. They ain't got jobs. They don't
Right.
have they don't have jobs. They don't have responsibilities. They don't have kids. The only thing they have is learning. The
Mhm.
only thing the kids have is every day they learn something new. Sometimes it's bad and sometimes it's good. But the
Mhm.
reality is, every experience a child goes through every day, shit, for the rest of their life. I will stay a child as long as I can so you can keep learning every day. Because the day you stop learning is the day you might as well just go and kick it off.
Mhm.
But children have nothing else going for them to impede their learning.
And
When you
again,
grown, when you grown, I have to think about everything else. And then when I'm alone, sitting over here by myself, not online, I can break down.
mhm,
I can think about the shit that's going on with me. I can cry
mhm,
about it. I can be upset about it. I can look over the shit I did and the stuff I didn't do. But
mhm,
that's when I don't have to worry about a bill being paid, when my son making sure he gets to school. And I don't
right,
care if he's 18, making sure he makes it home. These are all
right,
outside forces that I can focus on that don't have shit to do with me.
right.
And only in my quiet time sitting in a corner will I sit over here and focus on me. And 9 times out of 10, it's negative. Now I get on here with y'all and make no mistake about it. I love me,
Yes.
but I am my hardest and worst critic of myself. Nothing that an outside person, even now at 56, you can. I don't put my face online most of the time because I don't like how I look. I don't give a hell what y'all think. I don't like how I look.
Mm,
I do the things I do because of me.
okay.
There's none of my, there's you can call me fat all day because you ain't lying.
Mhm,
You can call me a bitch all day. I can be.
mhm,
So there's nothing that a person can say about me that's gonna bother me more than I
mhm,
can bother myself. And that shit comes from when you're young and the people that mean something to you giving you that.
mhm,
I would
Stranger,
say
some
for me,
kids at school, Leilani,
I would say for me in my family, for me, my first bullies were family, like you said. But I still went the way Krista went, where I just started saying it don't matter what they say. So I don't care what nobody say.
right.
That's how I took it. I didn't take it trying to change me to please them. Because hell, it
Mhm,
was so many and so many complaints that they had about every damn thing. I couldn't change that damn much.
mhm,
It was just impossible.
I don't know
mhm,
if I tried to change it because I didn't really, there wasn't no changing me. I didn't go on no strict diets or nothing, but I internalized a lot. I
mhm,
took what they said and I would look in the mirror. Don't get me wrong. I would look at the mirror and see my face and go, well, I think it's pleasing or pretty or whatever the hell I was saying back when I was young.
mhm,
I don't think I look that bad. You know, I would get out and I was like, yeah, I'm a little bigger than them, but shit, where the hell are their lungs at? They ain't got no room for their lungs. How the bitches breathing? That would be my thought. I was in school one day and I was trying to figure, this girl was real skinny, like hungry skinny. And I was like, how's this bitch breathing? Where her lungs at? We ain't got no room for her. You know what I'm saying? These are my thought processes. But still, the person that, like Lana said, the person that made me feel bad
mhm,
were people that's supposed to love me.
mhm.
The people that made me,
Too dark for these people and too light for them people. And I was, too fat for them and I wasn't fat enough for them. And it's like, you know what? Shut up.
why are you eating? It's why are you eating that? Don't eat that. You're already too fat. Don't eat that.
Yeah.
Don't eat any more of that. I have to go over here. I can't just pull a dress off the rack for you. I have to go to a special place to get your clothes. Or there was nothing about me being too light or too dark because I'm just light. It was, you shouldn't be doing that because of you should date this person or like this person. Or why don't you dress this way? Look at how you look. This is how you should be acting. That I got a lot of that.
I was 6 foot tall by the age of
Girl,
12.
shut
By the age of 12, I was
I
six
want to
foot tall.
I want to be 6 feet tall. Shut up.
My cousin, who's older than me, is 5'2". But I used to get put down because I gotta get bigger clothes for you. Look what we can buy for Tawana. Tawana's 5'2". She quit growing in elementary school. What are you talking about?
Kill me.
Watch that joke, because I did too.
That's what
No,
no.
every time I turn around, I gotta buy you shoes. Well, I'm sorry, you got big feet too.
What you want us to do? Look here. I
All
didn't make
them
me fat.
damn titties. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't make them.
You got yeah. I gotta buy a real bra. You and that's when it comes into sexualizing of young people, of young women. That's when the sexualizing of young women starts.
With her fast ass.
Yes, especially if you're well endowed. It's not letting me be comfortable with my body. It's not letting me be comfortable with my large boobs and my big booty. It is, you so managed. Go put some clothes on. Them shorts too short. That skirt too tight. Why you got that on? That shirt ain't buttoned up high enough. They can see your boobs. Why your titties so big? Why? I'm like, what the
Put a
fuck?
t-shirt on under that shirt. You need an
When,
undershirt on.
when you a kid, all you can say is you can't say it. But the only thing you thinking as a kid, I'm thinking, what the fuck? And then I get out in the world and I get older and I get, oh, you think you something because you like, what the fuck? Bitch, you don't know me. In my head, that's what I'm thinking. When I get it. I get it. I had this principal that I cussed out. I didn't mean to cuss out. I was having a bad day. I didn't mean to cuss out. What I mean, no, what had happened is I was okay. I was in school, and school wasn't my safe place. Let me say that school wasn't my safe place, and I was getting ready to fight somebody, but I walked away because I didn't want to get in trouble. But she kept talking, and don't keep talking. I'm not the kind of person that you can keep talking with. Some people you keep talking, bitch, as long as you talking and walking, it don't matter. I wasn't one of them walking and talking. You keep talking, I'm gonna walk up on you. So they kept talking while I was walking away, and I was getting ready to turn around, and the principal put a hand on my shoulder, and I said, "Get your motherfucking hands off me!" As I was turning,
Jeez.
and I looked up at her, and I was like, "I really want talking to you." My bad. I'm sorry, and I apologize. She took me to the office, but she was light skinned like me. Now she wasn't biracial. Now I had two other kids in my class that were as light as me, and neither one of them were biracial. Both of them had black mamas and daddies. It was just the luck of the light skin draw. So they didn't get the shit that I got. Even the goddamn girl that was light as me was called me an Oreo. Bitch, I'm like, you are the same color. You ain't what? You know what I'm saying? So she took me in her office and she was like, I know what it's like to be light skinned. What the fuck are you talking about? I didn't want to fight her because I was light skinned. I want to fight her because she was still talking. Even then, my situation was invalidated because you worry about what the fuck color I am. I'm not special. You're not special. None of us are special because of the color of our skin. Do women get discriminated upon? Yes, they do. They do. Dark skinned women are pretty for dark skin. You pretty for a dark skinned girl. That's the same shit I hear you pretty for a fat girl.
But the truth is, most fat girls are pretty. We are pretty.
It doesn't matter. I'm not pretty. Well, then I'm not pretty for a fat girl. I'm pretty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But it doesn't. That's not what they say. They don't say I'm pretty. They don't say I'm pretty. They don't say you're beautiful. They don't say you're beautiful. You're beautiful for a.
Yeah, I know. Yep, they do say 4A. Yeah.
But they don't say you pretty for a light skinned girl. Anybody, you've never heard anybody say Halle Berry was pretty for being light skinned. But you have heard people say Angela Bassett is a beautiful black woman. They make sure they differentiate. And it's subtle. It's microaggressions. It's little now. Because back in the day, before political correctness, folks would say that shit out loud. Before you had to figure out what to call everything, before you couldn't call nobody ugly, but back in the day, it was easy. You just ugly, you're retarded, all that stuff, we could just say it, wouldn't hurt nobody's feelings, and keep going. We weren't talking about people Actually, we were talking about this specific person with these things. But
Mhm.
now you have to take other people's feelings into consideration when you cussing them out. So now you had to have, you can't call anything, you can't call people certain things anymore. We had to be, what is tall, what is vertically challenged, I guess, was tall or short, I guess. And what else?
My
It's a
mom
lot.
always
It's too
taught
much
me
shit.
how.
It's too much shit. Anyway, it's too. You have to. I just stopped. I just decided. That's when I started cussing for real because there's no mistake with the word fuck.
Yeah.
There's
And
no
then you,
mistake with bitch, fuck you, motherfucker, ugly bastard. There's no mistake calling somebody a booger wolf because that's not a real thing.
right?
Ain't no silverback gorillas mad at me for calling somebody a big broad back ass silverback gorilla ass looking hoe.
Yeah.
Ain't no hoes mad about being called hoes because if you're a hoe, you know you're a hoe.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
so I started cussing with great fervor because I couldn't figure out nothing to say. But the reality is that if you are dark skinned within the black community, they make distinctions.
Mhm.
They talk about you different. And nowadays they do it so subtle. They gaslight these kids so subtle that they don't know that they got the kids doing it when it's not necessary. In sports, you talk about the light skinned basketball players different than you talk about the dark skinned basketball players.
Mhm.
You talk about the women, the dark skinned women in sports, different than you talk about the light skinned women in sports. When Venus and Serena do something, they act like they're the most aggressive, violent, loud women in the world.
Mhm.
Uncharacteristic for their stature in life. But if a lighter skinned person or a white person does it, does the exact same act, has the exact same fit, cusses and everything, they don't say
Mhm.
that about them.
Mhm.
Celebrities have rooms and have rules that you know. Chris Brown don't like dark skinned girls in the VIP.
Really?
Nope.
Wow. I never knew that.
It's a lot of them. Just Google it. They're like open secrets.
Wow.
Check the videos. Check the stuff. Oh, you don't even have to. Don't just check around the girls in the videos because they pick the girls that are in their videos. They pick the girls they dance with. They pick the girls they romance.
Yeah. 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 Okay.
They pick. They pick. That's not. There's not anybody. They pick who that girl is.
Mhm.
And it's sad because what happens is that the one thing that you have absolutely no control over. You have
Mm.
no control over the tone of your skin.
Right.
And you can get a tan, you can put on makeup, hell, you can
Mm.
bleach your skin.
Mhm.
But your hands and your knees and your knuckles gonna tell the world what color you are.
That's true.
In other countries, the difference between darker skinned Latinos, the Afro Latinos and the Latinos. You hear them talk about it all the time. How they don't recognize the Afro Latinos like they do the Latinas. They separate them, Afro Latinos and Latinas. How a lot of the Latin countries are very racist, and that
Yes, they are.
includes amongst themselves.
Mhm. I tell people that all the time when they be talking about, oh, they black like we black. No, they not.
No, they're
No, they
not.
not.
Ask a
Black people
Dominican if
black.
they black. Ask a Dominican if they black, and get
Right.
fucked out.
There you go. I be trying to tell people that. Mm-mm.
There was a girl that worked. She was a waitress at the restaurant I worked at, and she was Dominican. Now I don't know if she was fully Dominican, but she was Dominican. So we're gonna just go with that. And I said, baby, you know in America you black. Now I don't know what you are in Dominica, Dominican Republic. I just fucked that all up. I don't know what you are in the Dominican Republic, but when people walk by you in America, you're black. When people
Mm-hmm.
walk by your daughter, she's going to be a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
So you can scream about your ethnicity because that's not your race. I wish people would just pick up a book because ethnicity and race are not the same thing. Race is just what you present as black, white, whatever, whatever. It is not your ethnicity. It is not Irish, Scottish, Ghanaian, Congan. It's not your ethnicity. It's not Dominican. I don't know. Is it Belizean?
I don't know either. I just know in Canada they tried to keep me.
Clearly, geography wasn't my thing. Yeah, I didn't do the histories of the world. I really didn't care. I was a science and English girl. I
I
wasn't a
love I love
I
science.
wasn't a math and history or geography type girl. That wasn't my thing. That was just too much reading. Now I did a little history, American history, as far as like certain things that you just know. But
Mm-hmm.
no, I can't tell you I to this day at 56 can't tell you the what's the name? What's the capitals of all the states?
Yeah, I can't either.
I swear I would lose. If you would put me on TV and told me to tell me the capital of the states, I'd be like, no,
I'll say next question, please.
no. I can tell you the capital of Alabama. I can tell you the capital of the United States. I can tell you I live in Virginia. I can't tell you the capital of Virginia. I don't know what the hell that is.
Next question, please.
I don't know what I live in the DMV. Hear me, y'all. And the only thing I know is that DC is the capital of the world. Hello? I
Yeah.
will get it wrong. I can tell you that the capital of Alabama is Montgomery because I used to live there. I don't. What's the capital of Texas? Anybody know?
Austin.
Houston.
Austin.
Oh shit!
Austin.
Ah! Me and Chris ass, we are off the team. We're put off the team.
We are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Goodbye. They are not going to phone us as a friend. We will not be answering any questions moving forward. Yeah, so I don't know nothing about that. I can't tell you how to say nothing. However, I can tell you that I wish these things would stop. I know that we can't stop them 100% all the way. You know what I'm saying? But I wish that we could feel good.
Look at my baby. I knew she was gonna know it.
See, let me see. Let me look on the thing. Hold on, y'all. Put my
Uh,
glasses on. Y'all here telling the truth.
I can name them for you.
what?
Y'all know good and well. I told y'all I don't know nothing. Don't be coming out here.
Because I can name them.
Should have
Science,
known, honey. You smart.
science and English and things like that. Some historic things as far as like concerning the Constitution and law. Yes. You ask me about these states, I can tell you the ones I've been in. I've been in a bunch of them, but I cannot tell you the capital. Let me tell y'all some good stuff. I know that there are 7 continents, and I have to count on my fingers to make sure I got all of them. I can't tell you whether the Arctic is at the top or the bottom.
Baby,
don't
don't
know.
tell everybody. Somebody might have a challenge for couples, and we might have to challenge be against Lisa and DC. So just hold our answers.
No, 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 no.
I mean, Lisa ain't gonna play. That ain't
I
gonna happen.
say,
Lisa said no.
I'm not going to play. Let me tell you.
Don't worry about that.
Let me start off with this. I have yet to teach my wife this one word. You ready? You ready? You ready for the word? I still haven't taught her no. She be over here struggling with some hot shit in her mouth. Eyeballs. Eyeballs about to pop out, tongue about to come over here and slap me because I let her do it. She's not learned the word no. Me, however, no. Now, you want to do a challenge with movies? I got you. You want to do a challenge with certain things? I got you. Serial killer challenge? I got you.
Mm-mm. I ain't got none of anything TV related. Child,
No,
good night.
I'm talking about TV. I'm talking about movies. TV
I don't
is
watch
different than
movies.
movies.
I go to sleep on them.
You know
It
what?
takes, it
Anyway,
takes months to watch a movie.
any, anyway, I understand. I hear you. But I'm just saying, some stuff, I'm just going to say no. General trivia, okay. You gonna sit up there, you got to answer his story. I don't know. Shit. I don't know. No. If I'm going to lose, I'm not going to do it. Ask my wife who wins the challenges. Go ahead. Ask her. Ask her to one more challenges. She's going to
Uh,
lie. So I stopped because I'm going. I didn't. Okay, here's the thing. I did not know I was competitive because in my world, competitive meant sports. It meant things like sports and things like that.
mhm.
I didn't equate the fact that I like to win at all costs with being competitive until we started doing challenges on YouTube. And then I realized that in the middle of the challenge, my wife is just another victim. Come on, she's another victim. Don't do it. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to love you while I do it, but I'm going to win. That's when I realized I'm competitive to a psychotic fault. So if I'm not gonna win, I'm not gonna do it. You
Mm.
come to me and go, we're gonna do a history challenge. You have good fun with that. I will
Lisa,
watch.
what if it's general? Like my baby just said she don't know movies. So y'all would win if it's anything movie related.
General challenges are one thing because general could be anything. General could be food, it could be plants, it could be animals, it could be science, it could be biology, it could be
Yeah.
chemistry, it could be anything. General, yes. But if look here, and look, if you got too many questions coming out of the history and the geography, I don't know where shit at. I can point in a general direction. I'm like, I know it's there somewhere, but I don't know exactly where it is. I can tell you where Italy is supposed to be. I can tell you
But
what Egypt is supposed to be. I can't tell you what none of the countries in Africa supposed to be because there's so many of them. It's just a bunch of them, and they there somewhere.
I mean, but DC probably know.
No, and you can't tell people you know how to cheat when nobody want to play with you.
No, see,
She means she don't look it up. That's what she mean.
they gonna have to take all her phones and put it in front.
You can Let me tell you something. Unless they in the same place with her, you cannot take all her devices. We
The
got.
thing
I
is,
tell
DC's so slow in searching, they know she was looking for something because she get real quiet because she gotta concentrate. You can tell on herself concentrate.
Y'all ain't about to embarrass me having me do shit. No, no, hell
But
no.
you know what's funny? What's fun is when you actually win.
It's fun. That's why if I'm going to win, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I'm one of them people. I don't have to win every trophy, but I have to win the trophies I'm going for. I'm not one of the people. I'm not one of them people that just get in the shit thinking I'm gonna win everything because see, I'm one of those people that go, bitch, you know you. You don't know shit about that. Don't get your dumb ass up there and start talking shit because you're not going to do it. You're going to come in at the bottom. You may answer 3 questions. So Lisa will talk to herself and Lisa will go, Lisa, I'm like, yes. Do you really want to be embarrassed like that? You be like, no. And what are we going to say when they ask us if we want to do it? No. I don't have to do every challenge. I have to do the challenges that I'm going to win. Yes. And then I'm going
Okay.
to win them. So
Mm.
That's how that works.
Well, that
Yeah,
means you
I'm
bully.
gonna tell you too. In a collab situation, we all sitting around the house doing stuff. I have won and lost, so I'm cool with that. But if I'm directing the situation, no, I'm not about to send myself. That's not looking crazy. That's crazy talk. I'm gonna be the one to suggest it and then lose. Oh hell no!
Mm.
No, no, no.
None of that.
None of that. That is unacceptable.
Hello,
Hello,
Black. It's minded.
bless the messy. How you doing? Hey, yeah. All right, TC and all the state capital. See what we can do here is we can have a group of challenge enterers so that everybody got a different set of subjects so we will always win,
Yeah. Yeah.
but that would be the only way. I'm
That's what
not
I
going
mean. That's why it's a nice variety of questions.
uh,
Like,
I'm not going in
because
butt naked on no shit. No.
I know some movies now, but a lot of them is old school. But but
See,
me and my baby,
maybe knows
we,
music and I'm not that has nothing to do. Baby knows music and she knows technical shit and
my baby is ready. She said, "Okay, she
she
ready.
knows that
We
I
ready.
have I have music, entertainment. I have a lot of them.
Love
So
music."
I easily tell you what I don't know. I don't know anything about geography. I didn't care about any of that. I didn't care about states, countries, continents. I answered questions. I'm good at tests. So I had the information when I needed to graduate from high school and middle school.
Right.
But as a general rule, I'm going to look at a map. Or now I just plug that shit into my phone. I ain't got to know it. That's just like folks talking about all the math you need as an adult. I have a phone.
Right.
I have Google. I don't even need knowledge anymore. Shit. I just need to be able to read and write, and I can Google it. No, I'm just playing. But but I have yeah. I'm not gonna do geography and world history. Nah, I don't care. I can't tell. The War of 1812 was in 1812. That's all I know.
Oh, see my baby. Oh God, I miss my baby so much. She said she got
I can't tell you another. I cannot tell you when this war began. The Korea. All I know is that there was World War One, World War Two, Korea, and Vietnam. I know that's the order of that.
baby.
I
Stop
don't.
telling them what you good at, cause they
I
gonna
don't
know.
know anything about.
They
I
gonna
don't
let
know.
you think you know nothing. Cause Lisa could be bluffing.
No, I don't blow. I'm not blow. Because Lisa's not. Baby said she can tell you all the colors. Uh, shit,
Me
she got
too.
she got the colors down pat.
All of them are just for GB.
All love, all love. I don't know. She said, she said light brown, dark brown, purple
Oh, wait a
brown. What
minute.
the hell is purple brown?
I got DC on the color. I got DC on the color. Do
What's
you
that?
know the difference between burgundy and maroon?
Orange.
Chartreuse,
That's just ugly. That's like
sienna,
poo.
burnt sienna.
That's a brownish color. I know. Let me tell you the only reason I know that shit. Because I had the big box of crayons. Play with me if you want to. And I used to
Oh,
put the crayons. And I used to put the
74
crayons in
pack.
order by color.
That 74 pack or that 150?
No, I had that big box. I had the one that's shaped like a cigar box.
The 64.
Yeah,
No, the
yeah.
big one, the 100. Yeah, I think
I
what is
remember.
it? I had the big 150 thing where they
That's what
had
I
the
said.
makeup colors. They had
One,
nude and peach and all kind of fucked up colors. It was just yeah,
that's
yeah.
right.
Only reason I know them colors is because at one point I had to have all my colors in the same shade. So the browns together, the blues together, the pinks together, the purples together. So
Yep.
That's the
Yep.
only reason. And it's just, and the crazy part is that one color will be a name, and it's not even a whole shade difference. It'll be just enough so that to the eye you can see that it's a different color. But when you put it on the paper, it's the same damn color.
Just about, but it do be a difference.
But not for real. Think about it. You want something purple, you can get any color the purples, and it still be purple. Your baby gonna say it's purple. That looks purple to me.
Hmm.
But that's just, I don't know. I don't know why you need all that stuff. But hey, I'm old, and they have a whole lot of new shit, and I don't know why you need. And we have gotten off the topic. We are on to the colors in the damn crayon box. How
Cause
the
Chris said,
hell did we get there?
yo, always leading you right off the subject. Stop that.
I mean, it's technically the same subject because we're talking about colorism. I mean, and we talking about colors. No, just playing. But I, I have growing up. Depends upon where you grow up as well. Depends upon the town you grow up in, the area, the state, to where. But now with social media and the fact that somebody in Alabama can be talking to somebody in Timbuktu,
Hmm.
it's hard to say it depends upon the state or the thing because you're experiencing cultures and worlds from all over the world.
That's true.
People are now your kids are not being bullied by the kid next door. Your kids are
Yep.
being bullied by the dude across the pond.
Yep. Right online.
Little girls are trying to look like Kim Kardashian
Yeah.
and any one of the Dashian
Don't look like
sisters.
Kim.
Huh?
Little girls trying to look like Kim Kardashian, and Kim Kardashian don't look like
Don't look
Kim.
like Kim.
Right. Hmm.
Little girls are trying to look like Sheen models. Little girls are getting plastic surgery before their bodies even stop changing.
I know.
You have entire you have entire groups of people bleaching their skin to where they had to literally outlaw bleach in the damn place.
Yeah.
Bleaching their skin. That damn baseball player from over there. I think he was Dominican. What's his name? Sammy Sosa. Look at the
So
picture. Look at the picture of Sammy Sosa when he started playing baseball and what he looked like now.
he
He
looked
is the
dead.
actual color pink.
He looked dead. He's so creepy.
He is the actual color pink. He's pink.
Hmm.
Like little rat pink. Like little baby rat pink.
Mm.
Like
Because
Porky Pig.
somebody said that white was right and nobody paid attention to the fact that black is beautiful.
Yeah.
Nobody paid attention to the fact that the black of the berry is sweeter than the juice.
Okay, girl. Oh.
You don't
And
need
the
to take
bigger
none of
the berry, the more the juice.
huh?
Oh.
You
And the
the
bigger
bigger
the juice.
the juice it is.
Who don't want some juice? Child.
Nobody paid it. You got juice, baby. You juicy.
Hey, that's it.
Nobody was
Juice.
paying attention to that. We allow these little words to get into the back of our heads and erase what we know.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
And it's been done to me. It's not like these are not abstract thoughts I'm having. These are actual life experiences. Having to deal with not being enough, not being good enough, thinking I'm too good, thinking I'm better than. I
Mm.
People thinking that way about me without giving me the opportunity to show whether I am or not. I was never a mean girl.
Yeah. Me
I was
either.
too fat to be the mean girl. All jokes aside. Now looking back, when I was young, I wasn't. I was fat, but I wasn't fat. Does that make sense? I
Mm-hmm.
was bigger than they were. I was like 150 pounds
Mm-hmm.
when I was in high school. Now back then, that mean I was like 700 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I was at now. If I was at now, I would be naked. I would be on YouTube, butt ass naked all the time. Baby would be running around trying to throw clothes on me.
Yeah, I come on naked all the time.
Nah, I'm for real naked. Y'all don't understand. But
I'll be on here. Well, I can't no more because I'm with somebody. They.
I got a whole wife. She be running around throwing clothes at me.
I can see it now.
Throwing clothes at me like Pokemon balls. Put this on! But I felt so different because of how I was shaped. Everybody else shaped like a little boy.
Yep.
That's never been my problem.
Mine either.
Got boobs and ass later in life. I got it in the 7th grade.
Shoot, I got boobs in second grade.
No, I don't think
Oh,
it. Now my shape came in. My shape, my top, my hourglass came in because I lost my baby fat. My first baby fat loss was from the 6th to the 7th grade. When I came back in the 7th grade, I had lost my baby fat. My boobs had kicked in and my booty had kicked in.
My hourglass kicked in about seventh grade.
Yeah.
But my boobs, oh no, boobs came
I
seventh
don't
grade.
remember exactly when I first got the. I'm sure I had boobs before the 7th grade, but you couldn't see them because I was still chubby. When I came back from 7th grade, I had lost all that weight.
I wasn't chubby yet. I was just boobs.
So I
my
lost all
set, my first set of boobs were the eggs that the stockings used to come in.
I'm gonna take a sip of water because I had to sit up there. She talking for real.
Yes, that was my first set of boobs.
You got boobs out of eggs.
When I was in when I was in sixth grade, all the girls had boobs. I didn't.
Ah,
One girl, she was a big girl, like I was a big girl,
there was some
and
hard ass boobs, baby. I don't know what she was doing with them. I mean,
well, I used to say that the boys gave her attention because she had boobs, and they didn't give me none because I didn't have no boobs. So when my mother got her stockings and left that egg out, I said, I'll fix that. I went and got my mother's bra, and I put me, you know how the egg be, you know them egg, the leg eggs thing,
I'm
and
not
I went.
laughing at you right now.
I swear to God, I went to school and they was all looking. They said, "Hi, look at Krista's breast chat." Well, they said the titty, right?
They said,
And they said it's bigger than the other one. And they was saying she didn't even
wow.
have no tits yesterday. And I was
Mm.
sitting there. Listen, I was ready to cry. I asked the teacher, "Can I go to the bathroom?" And I went down to the office and called my mother and asked her, "Can she come and get me?" Because I was in school crying. And she's like, "What's wrong? Somebody picking on you?" I said, "All the kids is laughing at me." And when my mother came to the school and seen me in the office with them things in my shirt,
Did your mama laugh at you?
yes, she laughed at me too.
No, I was
And she,
gonna say that I would have been with your mama on that one. I might not. I,
and
I
she
might.
went and told
I might have been with her
and
on that one.
to her sister's house to show my aunt, and they was all laughing. And
Baby, that's hilarious.
my aunt showed me how to get naturally, how to get big boobs, how to lift your arms up. You know it, and do that. And I always said, and they started growing. They started growing, and
I
I was
don't
like,
know
yeah,
that. Do what? Lift your arms up.
I don't know
yeah.
nothing about that. I just got
When you
shit.
was younger, your parents never told you how to. Well, my aunt showed me. My mother didn't.
Anybody show me? I
Nobody showed
had
me
them.
nothing.
They
My
wouldn't
boobs
show
just
us. We
grew.
had them.
Your arms
I
up
did.
over your head. You lift your arms up over your head and like go up, scrunch up, and your chest grow. They start to grow.
What?
What?
Yeah.
I
I
never
ain't
heard
never,
of that.
I ain't
And
never
my
heard that before.
and I
I
was
ain't
like,
gonna lie
and
to
then
you, I ain't never heard that before.
I
yeah,
never heard of that. That's really
hi
funny.
baby. Oh, I miss my baby.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hey, baby, what's up? Just Krista.
My baby been at work all day. Y'all miss my
Hey,
baby.
yeah, yes. Hey, what's going on? How you doing, Lisa?
I am fine. I get on.
Alrighty. Hey, Leilani, what's going on? I have something to add.
How you
Come on,
But
doing?
Aunt.
all right, sis. I have an issue
Let's see
Because
about
I want to know what is light skin, because everybody has a different rendition of what is light skin.
Now, I don't know. I'm going
Okay.
to tell you. Me
Okay.
growing up, uh, let me see somebody.
I would say only
Anything,
she is darker than a brown paper bag.
yes. Anything that is darker than if you are anything that's darker than a brown paper bag is considered dark skin. Brown paper bag
Mm-hmm.
and lighter is considered light skin.
Okay. Okay.
And even within the light skin community, there are levels.
Yes.
There are levels to that light skin thing. There's yellow, there's red, there's light like me.
Yeah, I get called light skin. I'm supposedly red. I'm like, but I'm chocolate. You not chocolate.
But how
And
are you
everybody,
light skinned though, Leilani?
That's
that
what I
because
want to know. I don't know. I don't
Is
understand.
that who's see, this is what I'm saying, because somebody said to me they thought I said you've got to be what Stevie
Yeah,
Wonder can see I'm
you
not light
you
skinned. Like what in
you
the world are
are
they talking about?
exactly. They will they down here in the South. They will call you red bone.
yes, they would. And
Nah, I
that's
am
no, you don't
black.
understand, but that is only
Uh-huh.
within ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Right.
only that is
Right.
only black thing. White people ain't calling you light skin.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Not
Other
at all.
ethnicities ain't calling you light skin.
Mm-mm.
Africans ain't calling you light skin.
Right. And they darker than me.
Right.
How about
But
that?
within the black community in America, let me say that, because when I speak about black people, I'm only speaking about black Americans, those that were born and raised in America, the children, the descendants of slaves in America. When I say
That's
black
right.
folks, that's all I'm talking about. I'm not talking about any other ethnicity. I'm not talking about any other sprinkles. I'm talking about the descendants of slaves within America.
Hmm.
Within from the time that we were brought over here, separated from our families, and acclimated and assimilated within this particular society that they were building, they had to figure out a way to get us apart. Because when they put us together within those ships, bringing all those different tribes together, we came together.
Right.
On those plantations, we came together. Even within us coming together, they still had to figure out a way to separate us. So they
Right.
started separating us by how we looked just physically, either how attractive we were or the color of our skin. The lighter you were, the closer to the house supposedly that you were. Nobody super dark skin was inside the house or did any all that stuff for the they picked out the pretty girls to be the maids for the children and the wife of the house. They picked out the mothers for the kitchen. They picked out the most aesthetically pleasing for the inside of the house. And that's when it started separating us. And that separation just grew as time grew. And then you started having biracial children
Hmm.
that some could pass. Some of these children were so
Hmm.
white presenting that you can bring them back as a cousin,
Right.
that you can bring them back as a niece or a nephew.
Hmm.
And these black children, these biracial children, live their life as white settlers. Some of them dying thinking that they were 100% white folks. People don't realize Carol Channing was half black.
Mm-hmm.
Carol Channing is half black.
Hmm.
And it wasn't until she almost died that she told people.
Because she told it. Right.
She didn't do that in the middle of her career. She didn't do that when she was popular. She did that on her deathbed
Hmm.
because that's what you were done. That's what happened. Then we
Right.
started separating ourselves. Then we started looking at you look a certain way, your hair is a certain way. Then you go this way and you go that way. Slavery ended. We still separated ourselves because white folks were nice to the light skinned black folks because they could look at them and go, well, and then we still separate ourselves within that. They had paper bag clubs, clubs for black people that if
Hmm.
you could not pass the paper bag test, you weren't getting in.
Right.
Wow.
Debutante balls, play with it if you want to, but debutante balls started out as a whole bunch of light skinned girls. Black debutante balls in the South.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Now you gonna get some chocolate in there because the reality is that if your parents had enough money for you to come out, you were coming out.
Right.
Especially in the South, especially if you were
Hmm.
raised up in that was your particular, uh, that was your culture, that was your heritage.
Your
Your mama
grouping.
came out. Yes,
Yeah.
your mama came out.
Right.
You will come out,
Hello,
Uh,
Rico.
but you got to make no mistake about it. That was also colorism. But the reality is, colorism is the way it is today because we have a worldwide medium, the web, the internet. People from all over the world will get on TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat talking about Black Americans, talking about Black folks, talking about
And
our
people
colors.
and
Talking,
people will say stuff online that they won't say to your face if they ever met you.
the reality is 99.9% of the shit that people talk online, they would never even open their mouth to say, let alone say it to your face. They wouldn't even say it out loud. They might think it as you walk by, but they wouldn't even say it
Yeah.
out loud. It's not even say it to your face. They wouldn't speak the words.
Yeah, that's true, ain't it?
But the internet gives people these big balls.
hmm.
Thugs. They thugs.
The internet thugs, keyboard
Internet thugs.
gangsters.
Yeah, keyboard gangsters.
But they get on here and it is the biggest bully. And the one
Yeah.
thing that you can mess with somebody about, think about it. You want a woman to feel bad about herself. You play her and her friends. All you got to do is a picture of a group of friends. Now pick out the girl that's light skinned and focus on her for a little while. Then the next
Hmm.
girl who's the next light skinned. And then the only one left is a little dark skinned girl. Now she may be the most beautiful of them all. But the internet has broken her down to the one thing that she can't change or do anything about.
Now,
And then the world makes them feel some kind of way because then celebrities and the entertainment industry backs up that particular narrative. Think about it. When you watch television, what used to get me is I used to the Cosby Show used to itch my ass when I used to watch the children of the Cosby Show
why?
because the two oldest children didn't belong to Bill Cosby
Well, how? Well, why,
because
how
Lisa
would you say
Bonet and
that?
her sister were biracial. In real life, them two biracial children. In real life, Lisa Bonet and the girl that played her older sister, I think not no, Lisa Bonet, yeah, her older sister, the one that married to the little boy that called
Sandra.
Sandra. They were biracial in real life. You tell me in the whole world of acting, there weren't two beautiful black women that could have played those roles for those two black parents and those two, three black siblings that they had. That
So,
family did not match.
Black
but
parents and have kids that color.
That
that's
family
what.
didn't match. Y'all say what y'all. TV does it all the time. TV does it slick and
No,
it does
but
it
it's not
slow.
TV. It's DNA that does it all the
That's
time.
true.
And
But
and there's been black people, dark skinned folk who have had light.
now y'all see my grandbaby. Yeah, I
No,
see.
I haven't.
Well, if you just look, she around here somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Around here somewhere. And her and she's not much darker than me. Now I understand DNA. I really, really do. But what I'm saying is Lisa Bonet and the other girl were biracial in real life. I'm not talking about on the show. I know the DNA. I know that I can pop up because I know that my best friend, his mama and daddy were both light skinned, and both of them were light skinned like me. But they was two black folks. I know that my
Mhm.
other, well, she was my friend. She used to get on my nerve. She was light skinned like me. Her mom was light skinned, but her daddy wasn't. So I know light skin can pop out of anywhere. Trust me, Maury Povich has
Mhm.
showed me that. But what I meant was is
Mhm.
that these were two actual biracial girls. You tell me in the whole wide world you couldn't find two black actresses to play two black actors because I understand genetics.
But
But
you
even
got to
the
remember,
two girls didn't look alike. Even the two
yeah,
girls weren't that similar to where you would go, oh, them the same mom and dad.
but they were trying to bring in all groups of
We
people
didn't want
to
all groups of people. We
why
wanted that family. I didn't want you to mess that family up. That's why I had itch. That's what took me. That's what made my ass itch a little bit with Brad and Judy. You couldn't find one black man in the whole world to have a baby with.
but they wanted people that could relate
To who? To them black children they got with black daddies?
to the
To the black
show. Yeah,
mom and daddy? To their mom and
they had,
daddy is black? To their grandparents is black?
they already had the other kids
That's
there.
not what I said. That's not what I said. They said that there wasn't anybody suitable as a black. They said they looked and they couldn't find anybody suitable. So you said in the whole wide
When they
world.
got down to the last two people, there was one black man, but he was ugly to them, and they didn't want the ugly man.
In
Because
the
they felt
whole
he
world. In the whole
wasn't
world.
show to where
Hmm.
they was looking for. He probably worked for something else, but what they were looking for, they couldn't find the people to play those parts except the two young ladies that they got.
Lisa's
It's
back
it's
talking about
No, no. I was talking about no, 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 no. I mean, that's fine. That used to bother me before. I mean, I don't care because that's who they are. But it would bother me because I'm like, you can't on TV. What would bother? This is why it would bother me on TV. You couldn't just have a whole family that represented a family where everybody looked alike. That was my thing. I'm not saying that kids don't come out all shapes and sizes and colors. I know that. But what I'm saying is representation, especially of black people, is hard. But you can't not have just and the
but you
thing
got
was, you
but
didn't
the whole
have a biracial parents. It wasn't like her mama, it wasn't like the mama was mixed or the daddy was mixed.
well,
It wasn't
Felicia,
like the mama was mixed or the daddy was mixed. It was skipped like 4, 5 generations.
But you're going by them, not the character. You're going by them in their real lives, and that's
Right,
totally different than a part that they're playing.
right,
And I don't know how I've been around casting before just a little bit, and I know that there were times when they would want to cast it in with one look or with one particular type, if you will, even male female, to be perfectly honest. And then depending on somebody else that came better or somebody else that did better or somebody else, whatever the circumstances were, they went with that and changed the script, or they went with that other person to change it to fit that person. I mean, I'm just saying that as far as the Cosby's and just TV, I just think that that is TV.
right. But that's
And
what I'm saying. That's what TV
mhm.
does. That's what
I
social media
But
does.
the wonderful thing that I like to, and I'm gonna just say this. I'm sorry,
Okay,
Krista. Go ahead.
oh,
Go ahead, Krista.
I'm not Krista to you, I'm your baby. But
Hey, baby.
the the
I
whole
know that's
thing
right. I know that's
the,
right.
I'm gonna
the whole
I'm
just
in
push
check.
my button.
the
Yes,
whole
I
Lord.
don't have nothing to do with that. Nothing
the
to
whole
do with that.
Cosby
Go ahead,
show had
Krista.
the Cosby Show had to do the whole what you call it thing. They couldn't be nothing like the Good Times was. Because remember, that's what a lot of that character was. It was like no more poor black people.
But why
On
did okay, but look what you just said. See, that would have irked me if I'd have been sitting in the room while they were having to talk about casting for the Cosby Show. So all the black folks on Good Times was the poor people. So if you didn't have a couple of light skinned daughters, that would mean that all the black people on the Cosby Show had to be poor.
well, you got to remember, the whole thing was that they wanted to show that black people are not just all poor, living in projects, dark skinned, this, that, and the other thing. That's not what's going on. We have different shades of black people. We have different educations of them. We have different
Hmm.
things that they're going through in life. That was the
Hmm.
whole of the Cosby Show, and that we're going to actually present their little struggles here and there at different ages with their children. But the whole thing is, it's not going to be poor because we don't have that anymore. We don't have that poor every time they just about to hit the number, they one number away, and they didn't have these big dreams. They finna go buy a car and start catching a bus now. Now they back to walking. We ain't having no more of that. So that's what the Cosby Show had to bring. Everything had to be very, very different, you know.
Okay.
And one of the things was that we have black people of all different race, skin colors, hair types. So it wasn't so much that they were actually presenting them as mixed. They were presenting them as another shade of black people, you know, with different hair
Mhm.
types and all that. That was the purpose of it.
Well, they did turn instead with the good times. Cause you remember Michael. Michael wasn't dark skinned.
But he won't
Well,
light skin either.
yeah,
Thelma was dark skinned.
She
J.J.
won't light
was a little
skin.
dark skinned. I
right.
mean, but was a little
Yeah.
dark skinned. And you know, the mom and daddy. And then you had the two lighter skinned young kids. And then you had I mean, it's just
But
it was
even
just
but
it was just
even in
a personal
even
thing. It was
okay, so even in the Cosby Show, if you look at it, Sandra and thing, what's her name,
at least
Lisa,
one.
they were both, a little lighter. I mean, I don't even look at them. I just look at them as a little lighter to me. But the other three were of a dark complected. So if you look at the Punnett square, and if you look at it from a DNA point of view or scientific point of view, it's still there was still more that were on the darker hue than there were of a lighter hue. Now here's the thing. Here's the gag. In the situation, the lighter two always had like weird situations. They were never ever decisive. They didn't know where they were going in life. They didn't have any, they finally Sandra later in like I think in one of the last two
Right.
episodes, her and Alvin finally got it together, even though she was with a guy that was just as, what do you call it, male chauvinist
Goofy as
oink
he
oinkish
was.
as
Yeah.
possible. And her mama had to check him. You know what I'm saying? And
On a
things of that
regular.
nature. And Lisa, she finally, she got with a nice guy from the Navy who had a child, with somebody else, and she was raising Olivia. Okay,
Yeah.
so but the bottom line, the other three, they had their situations too, but they
Right.
went to school. Some of them dropped out. Rudy went. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, the only one that actually graduated on the show was the boy Theo.
Yeah. Theo graduated. Rudy, by the show ended before Rudy
That's what I'm saying.
got
I
old
mean, like
enough.
on the run of the show, the only one that actually graduated was Theo, the boy.
Yeah.
So I mean, he showed, like, usually it's the girl, usually it's a lighter skinned girl, maybe, but maybe not. I don't know. I saw like all the problems that all of them had. They had
Vanessa
but oh
together.
my God, man, they had so many. If
Right.
you looked at Lisa Bonet when she had her little boyfriends over, and she was like, my boyfriend, and that man, wet man,
Right.
and all that, and he don't know where he going after high school because he got to go find himself. And then he
Right.
said, well, how long is that going to take? And he said 10 years. And Bill's like, you going to find yourself in other people too in 10 years. So I'm just saying, like, they were just as, whatever. And I think it could be anybody. It really could just be anybody. And I thought that
Yes.
they had a diverse 227, same thing.
Mm.
Had an only child, which was good, an only child. And she got with, I don't know, the little boy, whatever his name was, the one that was
Alvin.
the lady, uh,
227. That was Jack
227,
and
remember?
Harry. That was Jack and
Regina,
Harry. Yeah,
Yeah.
she got with
right?
the little. I mean, but that was my thing. Here's my thing about representation.
Okay.
When I look at um at entertainment, realistically, somebody always trying to put somebody that look like me in a movie or on a series.
Okay.
I love seeing the real black. I ain't a real black person, but you know what I'm saying. I
I
want to
like
see
to see
represented.
everybody. Why can't
I
we
want to
see
see everybody. That's
everybody?
what I'm saying. I want to see everybody.
Okay.
But I also just want to show. It's just like I hate watching a show. It's like you can watch Friends. Nobody says anything about the fact that in the 30 years that Friends was on, 4 black people was on there. Not even in the background.
Mhm.
Well, I remember like
Or they kept every now and again you have a black show and they gotta have a white character coming in there or white villain. I'm like, why if every now and again can we just have us? Just like they have us. We'll go watch a movie with 100% white people and won't say one word. We have three extra black people in the movie, and everybody want to be on Twitter and the internet talking about that's a black movie now.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? It is the
Yeah.
when the representation comes, there's always an issue. I want the representation. That's what I want to see more of our faces because the reality is the world is diverse. The color
Mhm.
wheel is just not light. The color wheel is everything from light to dark. You shouldn't have to say she looks good for a dark skinned girl. She's a pretty girl for a dark skinned girl.
Mhm.
You know, you could come in here if you wasn't so dark.
Mhm.
That's just every time I hear that, it's like it's the fat shit I used to hear all the time. You know how many dudes told me I don't normally date a fat girl, but you pretty. Like that was a compliment.
Oh, I've heard guys say that. Like,
I don't normally date a girl
I
big as you, but but you're pretty.
and you know what I found out that like, cause I had a cousin like that. He used to always say that he would never date a big girl, and one day he ended up dating one that he ended up marrying, and different ones in the family would often say, "Oh, he used to always say he would never date a big girl. I'm surprised he married one." And he would always say, "But it was the way she carried herself." And so one day, my mom, being who she was like, "What do you mean carried herself? What you mean by that?" And he was like, because some big girls that I used to see when I would be in school, they wouldn't carry themselves neat, you know. And the thing about my wife was she carried herself real neat. And even to this day, she's very neat. And my mom used to say, then you shouldn't say you would never date a big girl or you didn't want one. You should say that you just like a certain type of them, no different than you could like a certain type of a skinny chick if that's what you like, you know. But don't just say, no, I ain't gonna date them, because she said, now you just putting everybody in one category and just saying all of them gonna dress and act like that. And that's not true,
But
you
so
know.
so skinny women can't be nasty.
That I ain't want to go all the way into it. I was staying on top of what my mama said, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I never understood that. I never understood why
Yeah.
people always thought because you were big that you were nasty. I'm just fat. I don't want to stink neither. What the hell? I mean,
Assumption that
Mm-hmm.
people made, and it could be a room full of little girls. One little girl is big. They smell something.
Mm-hmm.
That's who they gonna look at is the big girl. They're not gonna look at the cute
Yep.
little skinny girl. They look at the big girl and gonna blame her. No, it's not her. It's that little skinny thing over there. Y'all saying it's so pretty, smell like a bag of hot onions. It's
Yep.
her.
And piss. And hot piss. Yep.
Right.
Yep. Fresh
they,
off the mat.
they used to
Yep.
kill me because I heard so much of that shit growing up that it just irked me
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not that girl. I was a nerd. I like books and words. My games in the 70s, in the late 70s and the early 80s was I used to I used to really want a better relationship with my mom growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And when she would come sometimes to visit, she didn't come a lot. Now that I, think back as an adult she lived 2 hours away in Atlanta,
Okay.
and that was a weekend. You come every weekend, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't. But that's neither here nor there. But
Mm-hmm.
when she would come, our games was she would get a dictionary and say a random word and I would spell it and tell her that was a game. I was a nerd. Don't look at me because I'm pretty because that don't mean shit.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to write your paper. My appearance has nothing to do with that. But then even she would be like, you should be doing something else. You know,
Mhm.
it was never like, a great focus on education and things like that. But that's what I was. I read the entire Encyclopedia Britannica because I
Mhm.
ain't had nothing else to do. I walk down to the bookstore and get 5, 10 cent books and read them. We ain't
I
had no
love.
TV, so shit. I had thousands of books all down in my mom's basement. Ain't no telling
Mhm.
where they at now. Where all this stuff is now. But I
I love.
wasn't. I wasn't pretty. I was, but I wasn't. I was.
You
I was.
wasn't pretty.
I was, but I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I was.
No,
I was. I was a person that you want to come do your write your paper. I was a
Lisa,
person. No,
Lisa,
I was
you
pretty. No, no. What I'm saying is, to me, my
Mhm.
physicality didn't matter because I was pretty for a fat girl. When
Mm.
you have a positive and a negative, sometimes they cancel each other out. And if you keep hearing, you're beautiful, but you're fat. You're beautiful, but you're fat. But you're fat. Everything everything before the butt is gone.
Hmm.
That's why when you're talking to me and you got a butt coming, I don't give a fuck about what you say before the butt because what you mean is after the butt.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
don't mean to hurt your feelings, but I'm about to hurt
And
your motherfucking feelings.
that me, when people do that to me, you know what I do? I look at them and I look at something that I personally may think it could be one of their insecurities. And then I'll look at them and say, you know what? You nice looking too, but your nose show is big. And it got boogers in it. And you don't know how to take them out. I just do something stupid just to make them see just how stupid they sound.
I mean,
You
yeah,
know. And
I
I
did that. I mean, I did that. Dudes would call me fat. I'd be like, they be talking to me where can't nobody else hear. And then when I say no, thank you, I ain't want your fat ass no way. Did you?
yeah,
That
I ain't
ain't what
want
you said. That ain't what you said a couple minutes ago. You want me to tell you boys what you just asked me? You want me to recite your phone number? I did that, but it's still growing
yeah,
up.
I want to talk to you because you look like you smell like this. I don't
Growing
like
up.
it. Right.
Growing up. The bad will cancel out the good
Mm.
in your psyche, in your young mind.
Oh.
I'm just a fat girl. And I wasn't all that friendly. I had friends, but I mean, I was raised by my grandmother. So my parents' friends didn't hang out. So it wasn't like it was a small
But
town. It
yeah.
wasn't like we was hanging out together like, you do if my mom had been there. Yeah, because my mom grew up with these people. So yes,
Yeah.
I would have been hanging out with them on a regular basis. My grandmother didn't hang out with them because she liked mama.
Hmm.
So I'm at home with her. And I go to a small insular school, and then we ain't had nobody pick on but each other. So, and shit, you live in a situation like that, you know how to get somebody. And then I had my mama as well. And then as I grew up, and but I'm fine. I'm fine as hell. I'm fine in the motherfucker. I got green eyes, long hair, and I'm light skinned. And I got a big
Hmm.
ass, big titties, no waist, and I have a large IQ. I'm a
Yeah.
lot of things, but none of that shit mattered because I was fat.
Mm.
None of that mattered. My IQ was irrelevant. My beauty was irrelevant. My intelligence was irrelevant.
Mm.
And then when you get to look that way, then people start talking about you differently. Then you start being hoish because people like you differently. Now you're getting into hormones and you're getting into sexualizing children. And that's what it is now. But back in the day, that's something we called it.
Right.
They didn't penalize the men and the boys that were doing it. They penalized the little girls. You need to put some damn clothes on. Why you outside looking like that? Why
I
you
remember my mother told me I couldn't hula hoop no more. That was the one thing that hurt my feelings. I couldn't understand that. I didn't like her for that. She said, "Well, you can still hula hoop in your beard because you couldn't tell me nothing because I wasn't good at, doing a lot of the running and all of that stuff. But when we had them hula hoop contests and stuff, who could go the longest and all of that, and do it around your arm, do it around your neck, around your waist, around the one leg. Oh man, come on, let's go." And when my mother said I couldn't do that no more, I did not like her. I did not like her for that. I had no understanding why she would want to take that from me when I was the winner at that, until she sat me down and talked to me about it. Because the men would be out there watching all us young girls
But
hula
keep
hooping.
bringing it in. My now as an adult, I for the life of me, I don't understand why y'all had them kind of men around your kids. You would
Well,
rather
we
tell
would be
your kids
outside.
to not. You'd rather tell your kids to stop playing, to stop doing this, to stop wearing that, to go inside, to don't do this, to don't, than to make sure that you don't have these motherfuckers around your kids. Don't come around my house. No, you can't come over. No, we can't chill. No, you can't come to the barbecue. I don't care who you are.
Well, what it was, we used to all go down to my aunt's house, and they had the playground, then they had the basketball court, then they had where the adults would sit on the benches and stuff out there, and then they had like the pool where the kids could play. And so it'd always be the groups of kids that would kind of sit off to the side because it's hot. Everybody want to be around the water and stuff and playing, and kids, people watching their kids or whatever. And the guys, they sitting down, whatever, from playing basketball or whatever they doing. And so that's when my mother, would like see, and she'd be like, yeah, you ain't doing no more of that out here. No, you know. But that's the only time I got with the other girls so we can be in competition. They didn't live near me, you know. So I couldn't do that down there, and that
It is.
hurted me.
It just is the
Mm,
constant
wow.
booting down of little girls that get me. It is
Mhm.
the constant
Right.
breaking
But
down of young women.
how it teaches you how to, I guess, like,
Be a
you
woman
know
too fast. Grow up and be a woman way too fast. To be guarded way too fast. And to have to be guarded. Let me just say this: have to be guarded because it seems like there's no protection from anybody.
It's not. There's not. You're right. There's nobody chastising the boys for doing the things that they do. It's pats on the backs and it's laughs and jokes. It's mamas telling the daughters to stop, not the men and the boys. It's the parents
Hmm.
not chastising their children, their young men, and making them be young men. It is telling them it's okay to do this. Oh, it's yours. It's the my kindergarten has 15 girlfriends. It's the over sexualization of young people, period, because they over sexualize
Hmm.
boys. They
Hmm.
dress them like grown ass men,
Right.
or whatever thugged out ideal they have in their head, chains and Timberlands and adult, and then they put him on a girl's lap and have her hugging and kissing on him, thinking that does not have an effect on him because he's a child. But then he's going to grow up and be a child that does it to another woman,
Or a
and he
child.
or
Or
another
a
child.
child.
And they
But
don't tell him that this is not for you either. It's just not for little girls. It's not for little boys.
hmm
Sexualization, because the reality is that no one, adults, I wish somebody would put this somewhere so that I wish there would be a permanent billboard on every fucking corner. Adults can't handle sexuality. Adults can't handle romantic relationships.
hmm
How the fuck do you expect children to?
right.
If we are not teaching our young people, then we're going to keep having the same problems. We're going to keep having
Hmm.
16 and pregnant on MTV like that's a flex. When I was in school, you was 16 and pregnant. You was sent off. You was down. They was down there sending girls off. They
Hmm.
was still sending girls
Hmm.
off when I was in high school. You
yeah,
were
we had a
talked about.
called St. Augustine in Buffalo, and if you were pregnant, school you had to go to because
You
they
were
didn't want
talked about.
you among the other girls. Yeah.
You were. Come on now. But now they have made it so that it is an absolute and utter spectacle. Little girls having babies and having families at 16. Like this is 1742, and if you don't have all your kids before you turn 25, you're gonna die. I can't for the life of me
Hmm.
understand.
Right.
And it keeps going. And we get sucked into it. And the killing part is we know that's what's happening. Young
Do
women
you
know that's what's happening.
do you think when your parents stop you from doing a lot of things as a child that it leads to you having childlike behaviors as an adult?
I to an extent. To an extent. I think all kids need to be kids as long as they can be, because when adult time hits, it hit hard. And
Hmm.
it's not my job to parent. It's not your kid's job to parent. It's not your kid's job to be an adult. It's your job to teach them. It is your job to give them a shit. I mean, beating a dead horse, a firm foundation to build their life on. To give them that, but you also got to give them the safety and the ah, what's the word I'm
Hmm.
looking for? Uh, the freedom to be a kid, to
Hmm.
be safe in their childishness,
Hmm.
to play with toys, to play in the grass, to run in the rain.
So I always wondered, like I never knew until I started like getting into a relationship as an adult that I've had exes who have told me you got a lot of childlike behavior. You know what I mean? So sometimes I be thinking to myself, I wonder if it's because my mother stopped me from doing so many things as a kid, and that I still wanted to do,
Well,
you
yeah,
know.
I mean, you feel like you didn't get to fulfill the things that were going. If you feel unfulfilled, especially when you don't have the authority to fulfill it as a child, we don't have the authority to do anything. So we're left to the every our life is left up to what our parents allow us to do. Our
Right.
life is left up to what our parents allow, what they like and don't like. And parents oftentimes put the very things that they wanted to change and stop, they still put it on us. The very things that they want, that they didn't want their parents to do, they do to us. The punishments, the
Yeah.
abuse, the words they say, the way they treat us, very often, all the stuff that we said I would never do as a parent is the first thing you do. I look back and I wonder what I did that I said I wasn't going to do with Nick, and I'm sure some stuff. But I also did a lot of stuff that I didn't because I wanted my mama to talk to me,
Hmm.
because I couldn't go to her and tell her nothing.
Hmm.
I had to go find that somewhere else. And I didn't want him to go find that somewhere else, because when I was looking for it, it's a whole lot safer than when he's looking for it. And even though he's a boy, he can still get it just like a girl. It's little
Right.
boys that don't make it home too. And I guess because I was older and I had done, by the time Nick got here, I had done everything. I didn't feel like I missed out on no kitty shit, because I was single and no kids until I was 37. If I was gonna drink it, I drunk it. If I could smoke it, I smoked it. I never did crack. It's just reefer, the wacky weed. I need to
So
make that abundantly clear. I was very low on the drug scale. I went no further than the weed and a lot of alcohol. I did do that. I did that.
I used to drink a lot. I used to drink a lot. Um,
I
Yeah.
worked a lot. I drank a lot. I partied a lot. I worked a lot. I partied a lot. I worked a lot. That's what I did.
Yeah,
By the
me
time
too.
he got here, I didn't feel like he was keeping me from doing nothing. You know, a lot of parents have kids too early. That just is what it is.
Hmm.
You 25 and got 3 kids. You can't do shit. Ain't nobody gonna babysit them.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't pop off at the club when you feel like it. Hell, you can't go to work when you feel like it because now you got to have a babysitter for 3 children and you got to
Hmm.
pay somebody and you got to have transportation. And if the children are different ages, you got to have different things with different. It is a struggle with one as a 37-year-old. I can't imagine what it would be with multiple kids before my 25th birthday.
Yeah. I know this one girl on YouTube, she got 5 and she just turned 25, 26.
And these
Ah,
kids are having to deal with our trauma that we refuse to recognize. It's almost like, it's like, I don't know what we think we're doing with our trauma and holding on to it and passing it on to our kids. That's not a badge of honor. That's not nothing for them.
yeah.
Our kids are dealing with the fucked up decisions of adults. Our kids are dealing with other adults that don't know how to parent their kids. Our kids are dealing with other adults that don't know how to police other adults. They're dealing with stereotypes and they're dealing with societal norms. It's normal for an old man to date a young woman. It's normal for a 30, 40-year-old man to go get a girl that just graduated from high school as long as she 18 and she legal.
Mm.
Nobody bats an eye. That baby was 17 2 days ago, and he was 47 2 days ago. He old enough to be
Mm.
her daddy.
Yep.
But nobody bats an eye. She legal. I
Mm.
saw a 24-year-old, no, a 21-year-old with a 17-year-old that had a baby by him, which meant she was either 15 or 16 when they started messing around. I was watching Maury,
Mm.
20-year-old and 21-year-old on the Maury for the paternity. He has a 17-year-old fiance who has a baby by him. Where's her mama? Where's her daddy?
Okay, Rico, have a good night.
Hi, Rico.
He was saying, yeah, good night.
We're not policing the folks we should police, but we're policing little girls to the ground.
Hmm.
They feel like they have to do all these superficial things to fit in. They feel like they have to be a certain weight and a certain height. They have to have a certain thigh gap, a certain waist, a certain booty, certain boobs. They got to have piercings and tattoos and long hair and short hair and colored eyes and wear a lot of makeup, wear no makeup. Babies can never be who they want to be. They be who people want them to be. And they're sad and they're miserable and they make other people miserable.
Hmm.
Most mean girls are miserable because they're trying to be something that somebody else wants them to be. They're trying to live up to others' expectations. And in doing so, they've made themselves miserable. So they figure everybody got to be miserable with me.
Yeah, mean selves. And they grow up to be mean adults on YouTube.
Yeah. I think when you become an adult, let me tell you this. If you have not found an avenue, as an adult, you can talk to somebody, you can get a therapist,
Right,
you can find a support group,
right.
you can find somebody to talk to as an adult that you might not be able to do as a child
Yeah.
because children are hindered by their parents, what their parents allow. If Nick came to me and said he needed to speak to a therapist, that's the first thing I did when I found him one
Hmm.
because I don't know everything. I tell you, I know what I know and what I don't know, I don't know. And if I
That's
don't
right.
know it, I'm not gonna sit there and act like I don't know it. I'm gonna say what I know enough about experiences and feelings because I have them, but I can't tell you how to be a 17, 18-year-old boy, because I've never been that.
Right.
I can tell you what I feel as my child and what I want for you. I can't even make that a reality if that's not what you want for yourself.
Right.
But a lot of parents are not like that. And it took me a while to realize that Nick just doesn't have to deal with me. He has to deal with kids who got parents that are not like me.
Right.
Kids that don't feel safe in their homes. Kids that don't feel steady. Kids that feel that they have to be a certain way or their parents won't like them. Their parents won't like them. You know how
Yeah.
many kids actually think their mom and daddy don't like them?
Hmm.
A lot. I was one of them.
Do you know how crazy that is? For your parents not to like you?
I just always had middle child syndrome. I, you know,
But your
yeah.
parents, the one thing that should be an absolute, it should be. Now, hear what I said. It should be. I know it's not because I know oftentimes it's actually the opposite. But what should be an absolute, I spent these many months cooking and baking and frying you. You look like that because of me. I love you. Period. There's no ands. There's no
Right.
apostrophes. There's just exclamation points. I love you. Exclamation
Hmm.
point infinity. I don't understand why that's not. I think that as a society, we would be better off. I think that a lot of parents should have swallowed.
Oh,
Would. I
oh,
think a lot of these kids should be in socks, condoms, and throat muscles.
oh, Jesus.
But what you want me to say something fluffy? I'm not fluffy. The reality is that there's nothing more disrespectful than bringing a child here and not loving it because it feels that love from birth. It feels that lack of love from birth. And
Hmm.
can you imagine growing up from birth, knowing that this person feels nothing but contempt for your very life? And you are the reason every time they speak, you are the reason I'm here. You are the reason this happened to me. You are the reason I didn't get this. You are the reason I don't have that. Millions of kids hear that shit all the time. I'm not successful because I had to stop and work for you. I'm not this because I had to be your mama. I'm not here. I don't have this car because I had to get this to be your daddy. You know what? All that could have been avoided. One
Hmm.
good clinic. All you got to do is go down there. They used to give away bags of condoms when I was young.
Yep.
Bags. You could get whole bags. Go down to the health department. They would give away bags of condoms. Birth control. IUD, shit, the little stick that used to go on your arm. Then a shot came along. Hell, then a
Yep.
ring. And then they got a new IUD because the old IUD used to be made out of copper or some shit. They used to give women problems. So now they got a plastic one. And if
Hmm.
all else fails, they got a pill so that you don't even have to go to the clinic. Go down there, $79.95, and the next morning, you're good. I'm sorry.
So
I
should we
would
make it a
much.
law? So
Uh,
should we make it a law?
I don't
That
know what we should do. I don't know what we should do. I don't know the right answer. But I know
The right.
bring the child here to hate it. That's
If you
wrong
have
all the time.
to grow up to be like some of these people on YouTube, swallow.
What I'm saying is bringing a child here to hate it. I'm not even talking about bad people. I'm talking about these children that don't make it out of their childhood because they don't live. I'm talking about these babies that are sold. I'm talking about these babies that are beaten. I'm talking about these babies that are starved to death. I'm not even talking about the little bastard just grow up and be bad. I'm talking about the abused. I'm talking about the trafficked. And I'm talking about trafficked by their parents. I'm talking about little girls used as a source of income.
Hmm. Maybe that's what happened to some people in life. That's
I'm talking about your
yeah.
children. I'm talking about children being destroyed from the inside, shells of people
Right.
growing up to make other shells because they don't know anything else.
Right. Now they want to make other people's lives miserable
And
because theirs
now
was
and now
that way.
people want to drag in say, you know what? You have all the babies, but I'm not going to take care of them. I'm not going to help you take care of them when they get here. I'm not going to have any programs for you. I'm not going to have any money because we know you ain't got no money because if you did, you wouldn't be having this baby.
Mm. Oh.
I know you don't have the resources because we're not giving out any. But you make sure you have that baby. Now you ain't got nowhere for it to live, and you ain't got nothing for it to eat. But you make sure you have it.
Mm-mm.
You ain't got no health care. You ain't got no child care, so you can go back to work. You don't have housing, but you make sure you have that baby. You don't have any education. You don't even have the desire for education because you're trying to figure out where your next meal coming from. But make sure you have that baby.
Wow.
Because having children is human currency. That continues the cycle, even though we're not in this thing called slavery. It's still a human currency is
And,
still
and you
That
were
active
makes
correct.
that
slave.
makes sense.
Because
Yeah.
now what happens is you have entire generations of people who will never get out of poverty. So you have those people that will take those jobs that nobody else wants.
Have to, right.
You will have those people that will take a job that you should be paying them $100 an hour for 725. You have those service people that will work themselves to the bone. Just they get enough so they can pay for half a week of daycare because you can't pay rent with it. Can't get no car note. And then every time you turn around, you want to add something to how they get benefits. You want to add something to food stamps. You want to add this clause to Medicaid. You want to add that to WIC. You want to make it harder for them to get benefits. You have open housing, but you never have the Section 8 letter open.
Mm.
You have all these empty buildings all over the world, all over America. There are empty apartment complexes just sitting there. Now, if somebody wanted to pay you millions of dollars for it, the state would take over and all of a sudden claim eminent domain so they can get that money. But they won't take this building, retrofit it, and set it up for housing for all these babies they want. But you make sure you had that baby. You know how we gonna make sure you do that? Women, we gonna take away your rights. Cause shit, we don't give a fuck about you anyway.
Do you think it's wrong to buy food stamps from a mother that has a lot of children if she takes the money and use it to buy the kids school clothes?
If she don't, baby, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. All jokes aside, if she's selling her food stamps, if you don't buy them, somebody else will. So get your food.
Right. I was I,
You
I was I had that conversation with somebody. I ain't gonna tell you what side of the conversation I was on, but I had that conversation because this person was like, "Why would you buy her food stamps?" And and the other person was like, you know, she buying her kids some school clothes.
that's true
Yeah.
because they'll give you. Let me tell you something. When I was in Texas, I lived in Texas for a little while. I was gonna stay in Texas before I got with DC, and
Okay.
it was before I got my job. And because I was on unemployment stopped, and I could not have income, so I went down to fill out for uh welfare, for lack of a better term. It's called something else now, but that
Mhm.
for one child, I had to jump through hoops, drug tests, going to job hunting and all that stuff for $274 fucking dollars a month.
Ooh, jeez.
They'll give you food stamps, but they're not going to give you enough to live. I don't know
Yeah.
what they thought I
No.
was going to do till $274 a month. They'll give you child care. Just so happened he was already in school. He was no longer in like daycare. He was in school, but I didn't get off till 5, so he had to go to after school at the school he was at. So they paid for that. But if you miss one thing, they won't pay for it. If you don't swipe your card right and get the little number, they make it so hard. They tell you they have all these programs. Have the babies. We'll help you when they get here. And then when you have this baby, you got this image of housing and welfare and food stamps and WIC and all these things. But then when you get here, you need a job. But you can't get a job because you ain't got nobody to watch your kid. You find somebody to watch your kid, but the job only pays enough to pay the person that's watching your kid. So you can't pay for housing, so you got to find somewhere to live. So when you find somewhere to live, it's probably in a place where your shit ain't gonna be in there too long, or you're scared to have your baby at.
Mhm.
But make sure you have that baby
Mhm.
and you have
But
generations. Go ahead.
Lisa, who's saying that? Who's
Not
saying
not us.
and
We not saying it.
huh?
We not saying it.
That's not true. That is not true.
Who's saying it? I'm
Th-
not okay. I'm
There's
not saying
black
it.
men knowing dang all well
Oh
that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they shouldn't be having not a child. They really shouldn't even have a stuffed
They
animal.
should have a dog. Thank you.
Okay.
But let me,
And the thing is, and then they're going around saying, the sister, y'all the mother earth, and blah, 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 and this, that, and the other, and the third.
but they still, and the killing part is more of them talking about single parents, always talking about how fucked up we are. But you the one that's made us single.
There you go. That,
Nobody is telling nobody. But see, that's the same thing I said before. Society has made men, they have no accountability for anything,
right.
for nothing.
Right.
They keep talking about single mothers, single mothers. I'm a
There's got to
single
be
mother.
single fathers.
I'm a single mother because your ass stayed because you didn't want to be a daddy. And you know what? Nobody made you be unless I put you on child support. Now, the government is not going to go after them. Now, they'll go after me. The government will come take my child. The government will come take Nick out the house. Well, not now, but the government will come take Nick out the house because I don't have the money to take care of him. But you won't go after the motherfucker who gave me the seed to make him.
Right.
You'll come take my baby and put him in a system that is already overburdened, that is already killing children.
Mm-hmm.
But you won't go after the person that helped make him unless I put him on child support. And then any of the little pennies you gave me, because that's what they were, pennies, you're going to make him pay them back
Mm-hmm.
before he can pay me.
Right.
But then you're going to give me
They're
his
gonna make
little.
you pay them for them having your kids when they took your kids away.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, when they take those women's kids, them women get a bill. They get child support filed against them.
Even though,
Kids back because now they owe money.
even though if you're in the system, if you're in a foster care situation, they're being paid. Foster parents are being paid for every child. That's why so many kids that get eat up by the system because you have this raggedy ass house with 17 little kids in it because you get a check for each child that's supposed to go to the child but never does. But never does.
Yeah.
But you won't go after the raggedy son of a bitch that helped me get it here. And that's why I would tell any woman in the world, before you sit up there and get all googly eyed about a baby, you better get some reality in your ass.
Okay. That part.
Mm-hmm.
Because number one, if this man didn't want you, he's not gonna want this baby.
Oh.
Let me just be all up in 100%. And for anybody who ever hear this man didn't want you. This baby is not gonna make him want you. He don't want you. He don't want you. And you and the baby is an external reminder of what he don't want.
Right. And it's resentment that happens, and then
Hateful resentment. Hateful resentment.
It's to the core.
Yeah.
If this man has 17 children, number 18 is not going to make him be a man.
Mm-mm.
You are not special, Paulina Sweet Pussy.
Yeah, that's
Sunshine,
true.
don't nothing come out when they throw your shit up in the air. Okay? You are just another single mother from a man who didn't want them 17 before number 18.
Mhm.
If he treats you bad, baby, he's going to treat that baby bad. If he
Mhm.
don't respect you, he's not going to respect your child. A baby's not going to save your marriage.
Mm.
A baby is not going to make that man love you the way he said he loved you when y'all walked down the aisle. But the reality is, I bet if 90% of the women who say this baby will help him get what he had, if you look back, he never had it. You sold yourself this dream of happily ever after and this fairy tale wedding life, married life that was going to be like all the things that they showed you on television. And now you sitting over here mad as hell in the house by yourself because, yeah, you don't have to work, but you also never see your husband
Mhm.
because he don't want to come home to you.
And conjugal visits don't count. I'm not going there. I just conjugal visits. Yeah. There's those
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Ladies, that
Uh-huh. Mm.
well, he cheating on you too, okay? Ladies, let me say that one more time. Let me reiterate. Let me say it so you
Reiterate. Yeah,
understand.
please do.
Let me say it so y'all understand. He cheating on you in jail. He got 13 bitches putting money on his books. He got
Ain't that?
17 titty pictures in his damn room. And he got
Mhm.
another bitch that got a phone that she brought in her coochie just like you.
And a correctional officer that's trying to get him too.
Baby,
And guess what?
baby.
A correctional officer, a so-called professional.
Say it
And the
again.
bottom line is, I can't get none of y'all Negroes to go to a PTA meeting. Number one, number
Say
two,
it
I
again.
can't get nobody to give me $5 for somebody's scholarship and things of that nature, so we can send that boy to a school or a trade school or community college and things of that nature, or send that young lady so that she don't have to go around prostituting herself and doing and going
Say
to them
it
strip
again.
clubs so she can finish school. But I can't get y'all to go. But y'all go to jail. You aggrandize all of this other BS that everyone aggrandizes on the lowest vibrational level. And then you expect other people, Caucasians and Asians and Arabs and all these other people to, number one, to respect you? Are you kidding me? Get out of here.
They don't
No.
understand. They don't understand.
Mm-mm.
And the time of I watched these are movies. So it's not I think it's reality. I think it's based in reality, but these are just different movies I watched clips of. It's just not my thing. I'm not gonna watch the whole thing, but the clip caught my eye. And a couple of the movies, I forget what the name of it was, but Julia Roberts played a teacher in a women's college. And she was a rebel because she actually wanted to teach a subject. She didn't want
Mm.
to teach home ec or or needlepoint. She wanted to teach, I think, English lit or something. It was an actual subject. And the women
Mm.
would come into class saying, I'm Mrs. Howard so and so, I'm Mrs. Harvey such and such, I'm Mrs. Stephen so and so, I'm Mrs. Bob such and such. And she would ask them, what is your name? Well, I told you
Mhm.
my name. I didn't ask you his name.
Right.
I listen and I can't imagine this is what these young girls want to go back to. But I hear them say stuff on social media talking about they want to go back to the old days. And I'm saying, what old days? What old days are you referring to? When
Mm.
they were happily burning crosses in the black families' yards? When ma'am, you couldn't get a bottle of water without your husband? When your
Mhm.
children did not know what your husband looked like, but they knew they couldn't fuck with the family next door because that was probably your little brother? So what you going back to? What old time sensibilities do you want? When it was legal to beat your wife? When the judge would tell you, what did you do, ma'am? Why did you make him mad? And you know how I know they say that shit? Because they still say it. To this day, women get on the stand, get in judicial and situations where they have to accuse a man of something. And the question is, what did you do? Young girls get assaulted and molested. And what were you wearing? Why were you around him? Why were you in the same room with him? These are children they're talking to, by the way. Why did you wear that dress to the club? Why did you dress up? You wanted the attention. This is what you want to go back to, right? This is the attention that you want, right?
I think some of them realize what they're really saying.
It is no, I want to go back to when I was just a stay-at-home wife and mother.
Mm-hmm.
But let me ask you a question. See, remember you were 14, because I remember The Color Purple, a 14, 13, 14-year-old, 12, 13, 14-year-old being given to some old fart, some
Mm-hmm.
old nasty stinking uh, disgusting just and
Oh my God. It used to burn my every time. Let me tell y'all something. I don't watch. I watched The Color Purple all the way through one time. I had watched snippets of it, but
yes.
once something flips my I shouldn't watch this switch, I don't watch it anymore. It's like I will never watch Roots again. I will never watch Color Purple all the way through again. I probably won't watch the new Color Purple all the way through because I don't I know it happened. And I know it's a story, it's a good story, but I just can't. I can't for the life of me figure out how you can't have a pretty one. That goes back to what we were initially saying. The reason he got Miss Seeley was because she was the ugly one.
Mm-hmm.
Because the daddy was fucking with both the little girls.
Mm-hmm.
The daddy said, I'm gonna keep the pretty one.
Mm-hmm.
You can have this ugly one. Squeak, they didn't know Squeak name.
Mary Agnes.
Oprah Winfrey had to go get an eye knock cockeyed before somebody even listened to her talk. That's what you want to go back to? You want to go back to Mister? Suge was considered, for all those that want to be Suge, Suge was considered a whore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a hoe, but a whore. Strong R with the W. You want to be Suge? You want to be Suge that has to go beg for her father's forgiveness? I was married now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want to go back to, ladies?
I
Okay.
think they admire Suge's independence too.
She had the independence, but was she really independent? Because at the end of the day, she still had to go beg up on her daddy and still had to get a man.
Yeah, it was her feeling about herself,
Yeah.
her self that made her. But
That involved. Yeah.
and that watched her, they was like, wow, this is exciting. You know, you're beautiful, you perform, the guys are all going nuts over you, and you just smile and you just, oh my God. But they didn't know inside she was feeling sad. She really wanted what they had,
To her
um,
family, she was a whore.
love, right? She
To her
Right.
wanted love.
family, she was nothing. To her family, her accomplishments, her her bravado meant nothing. To the
Right.
people that should. That's
Yeah.
my thing, y'all. That's my thing, y'all. It's even 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 though my grandmother was a grandmother and I got my ass whooped on a regular basis, I did. I ain't gonna lie. I was bad. It was what it was. Anyway, she still loved me.
Yeah.
She still, I know that I did stuff to disappoint her, and I'll take that to my grave. But she still loved me. I felt that. In the same token, I didn't feel it from my mom. And I'm telling you, that shit can knock down whatever confidence, whatever beauty, whatever intelligence, whatever talent you have. It can knock the shit out of it. It can damn near destroy it.
Oh,
Wow.
It is a road that I would want no one to go on. It is a it is a it's hard to come back from. Therapy can help you understand it. Therapy can help you work through it. But the damage is already done because there's no time travel. There's no getting back what you needed then.
Yeah.
There's moving forward. I overcompensated with Nick. He's spoiled rotten. I didn't spank him. I barely hollered at him. Every now and again, he would get he got one spanking. That's because he did something crazy. I ain't gonna tell his business. But he did
Hmm.
something a little crazy. He got one spanking and a few hollers. That's it.
Hmm.
Because I needed him to do what I didn't, to have what I didn't. And you overcompensate sometimes. And I was scared that I was gonna make him a fucked up kid. I was. Because even though I knew that I was just, I talked to him about anything, I let him talk about anything, I let him do just damn near what he wanted to do. I knew that that could be a recipe for disaster, but I couldn't
Hmm.
help myself because I wanted to be the opposite. Oh, I wanted him to feel the opposite of what I felt from my mom.
Yeah.
And just by the grace of God, he's a good kid.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he got shit because all kids got stuff. They got stuff they deal with that we can't even fathom because we didn't have those issues. If somebody couldn't call you on the phone and talk shit to you, you didn't know about it.
Right.
Could nobody drop you a DM or a text message or hit your Instagram or your Twitter or shit your TikTok? Could nobody make a
Hmm.
video about you and put that shit on the World Wide Web for everybody to see?
Worst they could do was find out your phone number and put it on the
Anytime.
right on the wall in the
Anytime.
bathroom.
And them motherfuckers ain't had no phone. You had to get your mama phone out their mama room to call you. And
And
after a
I was
certain time, they couldn't do that.
till my mama answer, you in trouble. My mother
After
gonna
a certain
cuss you
time, they
out.
couldn't do that. After 9 o'clock, you ain't call nobody house, boy. Oh, shit.
Or,
Fuck around with you.
or put your name and your phone number and your address in the bathroom of your school.
Yeah. And you let one person show up at your mama house.
Mhm.
Mm,
It's back when kids was getting their ass whipped by everybody.
okay.
But nowadays, these kids don't deal with that. These kids deal with outside forces that we have no control over. They deal with children from around the world. They deal with adults from around the world. And they deal with issues that we didn't have to deal with because we didn't know about it because our parents kept that shit from us.
This is a
We
great
can't
line.
keep the same shit from them no more. So through the grace of God, my kid has made it to 18. He about to be 19 in a month. 19. He about to be grown and I'm confused.
He is Sagittarius?
He's no in December. December. I
I
forget this
know.
October. My bad. This November, right?
This November.
He's a Capricorn.
Oh, he's a
He's the end
cat.
of December. He's the end of December.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Oh.
He's a sophisticated cat.
He's baby. I put it
So
to you
what?
like
He
this:
did
if I
something
had
by the
to give him, if I had to put him in a divine nine, my baby would be a Kappa.
He would be a cat, a boy, a
He would be
mama's
a
boy,
Kappa. He would be a
he's
Kappa.
pretty boy.
Sagittarius, so he
He would be smooth and slow. He would be. Let me tell you something. He'd be smooth as an ice cube on hot pavement. Play with him if you want to.
yeah.
Play
That's
with him if you
Sagittarius.
want to.
That's that Sagittarius trait. He got a
That's
little bit
good.
of that.
Play with him if you want to.
How
But
you gonna claim Sagittarius and he a Capricorn, ma'am?
He do got a little bit of a Sagittarius in him. Yes, he do.
play with him if you want
Okay.
to. But
That's
he's
right.
also artsy and eclectic. He's also the pajama pant kid. I don't gotta dress up for these motherfuckers.
There you go. Bam.
I don't put my Crocs on, my pajama pants, my t-shirt, my hoodie. Off to school I go.
And I'm cool.
And I'm cool like that. I'm cool
And
like
I
that.
made a new style. I make a new style all the time.
I
I
had
just
an appointment this morning. And on the way back, it was kids getting ready for the bus stop. Why 90% of them was in pajama pants, Crocs, and t-shirts?
Uh-huh.
I said, baby, look at them.
Yep. Yep.
see.
So I
That's
mean, I am in awe of this kid. And I tell him that. But I try to give him freedom, and then I feel like I gave him too much freedom. So then I have to call him and check on him, and then I shoot random texts to him, and then I make him come down here and talk to me sometimes, but then I feel like I shouldn't do it. It's psychotic. I swear kids make your ass have true mental disorders. You sit there going, and I feel I just I I I'm ashamed to admit I am glad he's a boy because there's just so much stuff that he's not going to be, that's not going to happen to him. But the reality is there's so much shit that is going to happen to him because he is a boy, because he's
Mm-hmm.
going to be a young black man. And that's going to be a whole nother set of issues.
Mm-hmm.
So the
he'll be
reality is,
he'll be just fine though.
he
Yeah.
will. He will. But I mean, it's still, these are the stupid ass shit you worry about. And I
Yeah.
worried about this stuff when I was pregnant. Y'all think I just thought, no. When I was pregnant, I wasn't worried about whether or not he was gonna have all four legs and eyes and shit. I ain't need 4 eyes, you know what I mean. I ain't worried
Yeah.
about how, I didn't wasn't worried about none of that. For whatever reason, I knew he was gonna be just my little juicy man. And he was 8 pounds, 8 ounces, 21.5 inches long,
Hey.
full of juice. And he stayed juicy, didn't lose an ounce. But I wasn't worried about that. I wasn't even worried about feeding him or clothing him because I was raised by somebody, and that's what you do. You find a way, it will happen. I was worried about him going to school and getting bullied. I was worried about the shit I couldn't control. I was worried about him not being able to have the right tennis shoes or the right shirt, the right jacket or the right book bag. I was worried about him not being funny enough, or him being too quiet, or I was worried about stupid shit.
I
I
think
was
that's
worried
part
about
of it too. I worry about stuff that other people don't think about.
I was worried about high school in the womb. I was worried about
Mm,
him doing the shit that I didn't do. Worried about playing sports. Am I gonna be able to be a sports mom? Am I gonna be able to afford him? Because you think of that shit when you ain't independently wealthy.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Am I gonna be able to afford his football, his basketball, his baseball, his whatever? Am I gonna be able to afford his piano lessons or his flute or violin, whatever?
Who am I gonna be one of the parents that take everybody to the practice and
Am
have
I
the
gonna be a soccer mom? I'm thinking about all
yeah,
this stuff, and this
yeah.
and before he come out, and then he come out, and all I'm worried about is nothing. My baby's here, and then now as he gets older, and I see how
Mhm.
times are changing, and I really thought time was going to get better. I did. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I
Mm-hmm.
grew up in the 70s and the 80s, and I thought that as time progressed, the racism, the sexism, all the isms would start to just drop off because they serve no true purpose other than hate and separation. I just thought that get we would turn the tide, and we would understand that America it's built on blood and death and destruction. But we built this land, and hey, we're here, and we would learn to live together. I really thought that. But then it just kept getting progressively worse, but it kept getting progressively quieter. The war on drugs.
Lisa,
Yeah.
it's getting late. My baby gotta go to work tomorrow. I ain't gonna have enough time to spend with
I think that TC, I think that you have to leave, and Krista has to leave.
I, I,
I think that's what I think now. I think that's what she's telling me.
I think that's what she's telling me. Maybe, yeah, maybe she's telling that to
I
me.
think that's what she's telling us.
Okay, baby.
So I'm going to release you from your co-host duties.
I just know that my time gonna be limited because she going to sleep.
Well, y'all
She
go
gonna.
ahead. I will. My as you can see, my other half dropped off, so me and Leilani are gonna hang out for a little bit longer. But you two are released from your duties as co-host. So, so y'all can
Wow.
go.
She right.
Y'all can go snuggle.
Can, I wanted to chime in one more time, if that's okay with my just Krista.
You know not to ask me. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
I, mm, I, mm, just Krista. I just wanted to say something. One more thing.
Go ahead, baby. I was just telling Lisa. I wasn't there. We
Yeah.
was finna right that second.
Here, here's what I don't want people to forget. And it's not that I'm advocating for them, but I am, because it affects everyone else. During slavery,
Uh-huh.
white women had to endure their husband having sex, falling in love, raping, doing whatever with black women and black men. Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so I don't want them to not be called to the carpet of they need help. Mhm.
Yes, they do.
That mental print, that emotional, mental, horrific print that you had to, no, under no uncertain terms would you be allowed to say anything about your husband. And if you yourself had feelings or was trying to get back at him with a black man, you could be killed.
Oh yes, and don't let your little hell spawn come out light skinned.
Oh,
You won't even make it out of the birthing chamber, ma'am.
no.
I 100% agree with you. I do agree with you that
They
that
have,
white women have went through this shit with us, but on the other side of the coin,
yes, yeah, exactly.
if they were quiet and they allowed it, which they did, which most of them did,
And it's right. Mm-hmm.
they got by. And then you got to the point to where it emboldened them. See, that's where my problem comes in after slavery. When you saw when these women had to endure this, not just this, it's an insult. It was a spiritual insult, the way
Yes.
that women are treated. It's a spiritual insult, the way that women are treated as a whole.
Yeah.
And women of color, black women in America, were treated as cattle,
Right.
as non-people.
Right.
White women were treated as property,
Right.
not cattle. You saw I didn't say cattle.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
treated as property. They were treated as pretty things to put them on a shelf to show off to other people with money.
Yeah.
Black women were treated like the animals out in the pen.
Mm-hmm.
They had a purpose. They had a job, and that was their only job. Because they was eating fucking sheeps back then. So make it clear, they was in the whole house. They was
Yep.
they was from the rooter to the tutor. Now they wasn't playing.
Okay.
It's just nasty from beginning to end. All right. But what happened was white women stayed quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And then came Reconstruction. And they stayed quiet. Because shit, they had to survive. I ain't gonna knock you to survive. I'm just gonna tell you 100. I'm not gonna knock how you survive. But you don't have to put that shit on me.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
I did not cause.
There you go.
I did not, as a black woman, as a black person, cause your situation. He did. But you take your anger out on me.
There you go. That's where I'm getting that anger, that misplaced anger
And they know
that
it's
continues
misplaced.
to still happen. That they continue, and we have to
Constantly, constantly,
constantly.
constantly. All you hear is, oh, they love the snow bunnies. Oh, baby, we didn't want him. You good though. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But no, they constantly, but they don't understand. It ain't us, baby girl. What you picking
Oh,
on us for? We didn't leave you in the house alone. We didn't have sex with the slave. We was the slave. We
right.
didn't bring no little beige babies in your house. We didn't do that. We were the beige babies. We didn't do any of that. But you take it out on us because you refuse to hold the people accountable that are doing it. Men are not held accountable. White men are not held accountable for anything. And then
Not at all.
men as a whole are not held accountable for the acts in which they do against us, man.
Us. There you go.
They're not held accountable for their violence. They're not held accountable for their hate, for their misogyny, for their patriarchy. They're not held accountable for that. And women decide whether or not we fight the wars. So the white women stayed quiet and the black women got loud. And now we're masculine.
Mad
We're
black.
too
Mad.
masculine. We're mad. We're violent. We're ghetto. No, we couldn't stay quiet, baby. Quiet
That's
got
right.
us killed. Quiet got us killed. Quiet got us in boxes. Quiet got us
Exactly.
left in alleys. Quiet got us 7 babies. Quiet got us pimped. Quiet got us moved.
Okay.
Good night, Crystal. I'm going to end the live.
No,
I'm going to end the live.
oh Lord, think that's the part I was getting at. I don't want Caucasian women to get off and to get off scot free because they play a part in this whole entire this misplacement of energy towards who the blame should be going to,
They're the back.
and all of that stuff. So yeah,
They're
I
the
just want to say.
backbone. They're the backbone. They're
Mhm.
what holds him up. They're what props him up. And in them times that he thinks that he can go on no further, their silence lets him go on.
Silent, exactly. Hmm.
So yeah,
Thank you so much. All
you're
right,
very
Lisa.
welcome, my love.
Have a great one, and
Y'all have a
Leilani,
great week.
have a great one.
Thank you guys.
All right. Good night.
Bye.
Good night, and good night, DC. Peace out, bro. All right, now.
Bye.
Peace.
It's just us, Lila. Who is that? Oh no. Daisy. Hello.
Hey,
Oh, I did say so. Yes. I did. But yeah. I got a little bit out there. My bad. My bad. It's the it's a strong title for me because I want your daughters to have better. You know what I'm saying? I want your babies to be in a place that's better for them.
mhm.
I want us to have better. I don't plan to die tomorrow. You know? I don't know.
I got a light skinned baby and I got a chocolate baby. And I don't let nobody say nothing stupid. Like, don't do that. Don't do that.
I don't want that. I hate that. I hate that.
That's why it's just, they both look like me.
Yeah, they do.
And
Yeah, they do.
they both look like me. One's lighter, one's darker. But you look at me at different times of the year, I look like both of them.
My
Because I
sister,
change in shades. I go from light to dark all the time.
my sister got my nephew is darker. He's not dark, but he's darker, and my niece is look like Nick. So I know, but that's the same mama, same dad. I
Hmm.
know that with black folks, baby, we are the blueprint. We can make any color.
Yep. And my mama
So,
look like you. My mama's light like you. She's your shade.
so we can do it all. We can make chocolate all the way up to. I don't know why people use vanilla because vanilla is black.
Hmm.
Vanilla is not light. It's black. I don't know why people always use vanilla. It's not black. Anyway, 'cause vanilla is dark skin. But I ain't gonna lie. When Nick started dating, I would ask him. I say, "What color is she?" I ain't gonna lie. Shit, I ain't gonna lie. But I mean, he's dated all kinds. Black, East Asian, uh, they little white girl, they little Hispanic girl. I'm like, as long as she good to him and I ain't gotta cuss her out, I don't really care what color she is. Real talk. And I ain't gonna lie, but I'm gonna tell you something. Even being biracial, when I was growing up, my grandma used to tell me, "I don't want nobody can't use my comb." I'm like, what?
My
Because at
granny
first
say that crazy stuff.
I don't
What's
understand what that means.
is multiracial. So it's like, oh, so who can't use it?
I'm assuming that she talking about Afro pick.
Because I'm like, her own grandma was white. I'm like, who can't use it, Granny? Who?
Let me
Who
tell you
you
something.
speaking of? Because
Because even though they had different rooms, quadroom, mulatto, even though they had all that stuff, all these technical terms, the reality is, like I said, if you was black, you was black. If your mom was black, you was black. If your dad was black, you was black. Don't come here talking about you light skinned. White people don't understand light skin. I guess because all they skin like maybe that way. But no, don't come in with that mess. Use Negro spiritual. Thank you very much.
and then my grandmother's father is Middle Eastern. Like I grew up thinking that they were Indian because they always said, Grandpa Nixon was Indian, and I thought they meant American Indian.
Right.
But then when I found out I had thalassemia, I found out no, it's Middle Eastern Indian.
Well, I mean,
And so my grandma, like all of my grandmother's siblings, are light skinned. My grandma's the only chocolate baby.
well, I don't. Let me see. I ain't gonna lie. All my aunts range from your color to dark, like Wesley Snipes.
Mm.
There you go, from your color to Wesley. It's no light. I don't have any light skinned
See, I
aunties.
don't have any aunts that are dark.
I don't have any light skinned aunties. But
Siblings,
they
the dark
grandmama,
is about my color. That's as dark as they got. Now,
but their granddaddy was white.
and grandmama.
And their daddy was white. Because I understand granddaddy was Mouser and great granddaddy no, great granddaddy was Mouser and granddaddy was sharecropper.
Mm-hmm.
So but my uncle looked like he has no Caucasian. None.
Yep.
Not a sip, not a slip, not a sip, not a sip.
Happen. My granny's youngest brother, my Uncle Billy,
Uh,
he was the darkest one.
not,
You had no idea that, comparing him to his sisters, be like, where he come from?
not a sip. But no, look, truthfully, don't look like they got a sip. But my uncle, the one that was having babies until he was 65 or 67. I think he was 67. His wife was 45, and they had their 10th child. I said, well, if you don't get my Uncle James, that's nasty. He just said, I told folks, he get my auntie worms. Nasty. But we went down there. We went down there. I am 10 years older than my niece. I mean, than my cousin.
Cousin Wanda had her first and only baby when she was 49, and her husband, I think, was like 69.
Passing out worms.
I mean, not that they didn't try. They tried. She just, they told her she couldn't have kids. And then all of a sudden, she thought she was going through menopause. And the doctor said, "Oh, you pregnant."
Now, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't about to sit up here and lie. When me and DC first got together, I asked her, "Do you want another child?" Because this was I saw her as my forever. The only other person I talked about having kids with, the only other person, she had a hysterectomy and she wanted a child, but she couldn't have one. And I said, I care for you as long as my stuff working and it don't kill me. I care for you. But then I got with my wife and I was like, I'm not gonna do that. So I asked her. I said, before we get too far along, do you want another child? I did. She said no, and she said no, and I said thank you.
I said I advanced that because he didn't have any kids.
She said no, and then, now I was being nice. She said no, and I said bless her. Shit. And I'm so glad because can you imagine my old ass having a baby? I can send Penelope off with her mama now. Baby, if I got one I can't send nowhere, Lord of mercy.
You got one. His name is Jax.
He don't want me. He only want me when he want me. Other than that, he want to be with her. Right now, his ass is gone. She wouldn't take a shower. That's why we still on. I don't even know why we still on. We just on. I just ain't cut it off. Is anybody came in? Somebody. Oh, it's 3 people.
Before they left, Daisy came in.
Oh, okay. Hey, somebody. Hey, we just talking. You can join the conversation. But yeah. So I asked. She said no, and I said, woohoo! I said, woohoo! And what else? That was it.
Well,
And then,
Vance's answer was he wasn't sure. And
do
then
you want to know?
about 5 years went by, and I asked him again, and he still was like, And I was like, you don't. So it's too late now. No, I'm good, sir.
Because I don't understand why men do that. Now you need to tell me up front. When I asked you the first time, my clock is already getting ready to get smacked the fuck off the damn night side table. Now you need to go and answer my question. Because when I'm asking you for a reason. So don't come at me with no craziness. Don't talk about because see you give out sperm till you dead.
Right. I was like, once I hit 40, sir, I'm good.
That's basic. That's just basic biology. Men can give out sperm till they dead. On your deathbed, you can give out your final ejaculate.
Yep.
Women, on the other hand, our eggs dry up and then turn us into hot pockets. Okay. We can't do one got out of damn time.
Family have babies old. I just don't want one. I'm good.
Well, the thing was, I had my period up until what? 52?
Yeah, I'm good.
Baby, I'm so glad I went with no man.
I think my great grandmother had her last one at about 49 or 50. No, thank you.
I would have, baby. I don't know what the hell I would have did with a baby at 50. Oh, my 50, God.
And then my cousin that I was talking about, Tawana, when I had Shaylin, I was 30, 31. And Tawana is 8 years older than me. Tawana got pregnant. I was like, what? And her child heard 18. Her only child was 18. And now she's pregnant. I was like, girl, why?
Baby, let me tell you some good stuff. I got pregnant right out the neck. I did get pregnant. That's why I had that miscarriage. Right, that was right out them though. And I didn't. I'm like, where did this fertility come from? I didn't ask for this shit. I didn't fucking
The
ask for this.
fertility came from Nick. As soon as you had him, they made you
I
first.
lost weight. I fucked around and lost weight.
Yep.
Did nobody tell me that when you lose weight, babies come?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever told me that. Nobody went, you know what? If you get skinny, the baby's gonna come.
Yep.
So I lost weight, thought I was just getting fine. No, I wasn't. Ain't no damn way. I'm so glad baby told me no. Cause had she not told me no, she be over here. Cause I would be like, man, sir. I'd be the runaway daddy. They'd be like, where's Lisa? Who? I'd be like, Slim Shady, my name is what? She left me. I wouldn't leave so much as we still on, baby.
You be at work for a long, long time.
I'd be at work. I take all the shifts. I have so much money. Baby, like, what you doing? I gotta take care of the baby. I gotta feed the baby. Gotta feed the baby. Yeah. I'm just playing. No, I ain't playing. I'm like, golly. I can't. The brat was, what, 47, almost 50?
I think she's 49.
Baby, bless her little heart. Bless her heart either way. Can you imagine me 10 years? Can you imagine me having a baby when me and you got started dating? Okay. Can you imagine the implications of that situation?
She is 49.
Because I know she wasn't that much younger than we was.
Yep, she'll be 50 in April. She is 49.
Bless her little heart. Well, you know what? Babies is supposed to, that's their life. They like it. I love it. I can't. They got enough money for that shit, though, so.
Right.
Hey, they got the money for that old baby.
And they got plenty of people around that'll take
But I
care
think
of
Judy is in her 30s, or ain't she?
No. Judy's older than Brent, I think.
I think Brett is older.
I'm gonna
How old is Judy?
Let me look it up. Hold on.
Hey, y'all. Thank y'all for coming to our live. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that every time we drop a video or go live, you guys can join us. I want y'all to thank Leilani.
She's 41.
Yeah, I thought she was younger. Yeah. I want to thank Leilani, my hostess with the mostest, my road dog. I want to thank Just Krista and TC. They've already left the building, but thank them anyway. I want to thank everybody that came through. Thank y'all so much for supporting us. Y'all know I love the Bomb Squad. Y'all know I'm down to ride. We'll be back next Wednesday. Maybe sometime this week we might be back with some randomness. You know how I am. I'm a little random. Y'all have a great Wednesday. I love you guys. Bye, y'all.
Now you remember next Wednesday is day before Thanksgiving.
I have to do it earlier then.
Yeah.
I just do it during the day. All right. Y'all have a happy Thanksgiving. If y'all don't come back, if y'all do come back, I'll see you next Wednesday. I'm sure we're doing something between then and then. I'm sure Leilani and DC have video coming for y'all. Thank y'all. Bye y'all.